From the hot air balloon capital of the world, this is live coverage of the 52nd edition of the Albuquerque International Balloon Fiesta, powered by ExxonMobil. It's Balloon Fiesta Live. And now, direct from the rooftop studio at Balloon Fiesta Park in Albuquerque, New Mexico, here are your hosts, Art Lloyd Jr. and Ted Maes.
Well, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, wherever you are in the world. This is the 52nd Albuquerque International Balloon Fiesta, powered by ExxonMobil. And we here are live on the set. Art Lloyd Jr. here, along with my new partner, Ted Maes, and this is day one, session number one of the Albuquerque International Balloon Fiesta. And we are glad that you are here as we get things kicked off for the 52nd year. Well, good morning, Ted.
Buenos dias.
Welcome to Balloon Fiesta Live.
Thank you very much.
Hey.
It's a pleasure to be here.
Well, we're glad to have you here. We're going to talk more about you and that kind of things. Let's just kind of set the scene very quickly. We are on a 15-minute hold already this morning. I think mostly because of the traffic that is trying to get into the field.
Oh, absolutely. It's from what people have said, the most they've seen in even over the last couple of years.
Yeah,
so.
Even at 4 o'clock this morning, the lines were backed up, so we're on a little bit of a 15-minute hold, including pilot's briefing, which is usually at 6 o'clock. It's now at 6:15. And then the opening ceremonies at 7, now on hold till 7:15. Again, there's a lot of people trying to get into the park, and we'll be trying to get those in here as well. So I do want to go ahead and address the fact that we're first off on YouTube and Facebook. You can see us and watch us in either one of those. Ted will be monitoring the Facebook chat, and I'll be monitoring the YouTube chat as we go along. So please join us in there and let us hear from you, and we'll give some shout-outs to you. We've got some giveaways this year. We've got some great discounts. And I want to take just a moment and acknowledge the fact that Glenn Moyer is not with us this year. Glenn Moyer, 34 years worth of broadcasting here, one as an announcer. He also flew here. And for the last 8 years, he was my partner here on Balloon Fiesta Live. Glenn, we know you're watching this morning, and we appreciate your 34 years of service to the Albuquerque International Balloon Fiesta. And we miss you, bud. We'll talk to you soon. So, Ted, you're here. Let's talk about you, bud.
Well, first off, I got some big shoes to fill with Glenn.
Yep.
And Glenn had some very kind words, saying that I was part of an exclusive club, so I'm very honored to be there. So, Glenn, I will do the best to continue on the legacy of what you put up here at Balloon Fiesta Live. Myself, I'm a native of Albuquerque. This is my 52nd Albuquerque National Hot Air Balloon Festival.
52nd? There's only been 52.
That's right.
You mean you were at the first one?
I was the first one at Coronado Center as a wide-eyed 3-year-old, as we've said.
Okay.
And I can close my eyes now and remember it. My mom putting me in the car and driving down Louisiana to Manal and parking in the parking lot and watching the balloons take off. And I was hook, line, and sinker right there.
Right from then on.
Right from then on. So. Crewed, got my first flight in 1976 from a neighbor, Frederick Farr, great guy. Hooked even more. Began crewed for the Old World Balloon Company with Sid Cutter.
Oh, right, yeah.
And so you got to meet the legend and the grandpa of hot air balloons in Albuquerque. And then I finally got my certificate after I got married, had kids, and flew. Beth Wright Smith, who we all know, taught me well. Then I, a few years later, became a commercial pilot for Beth with the Wells Fargo team.
Right.
And then 3 years ago, I joined the Albuquerque National Balloon Fiesta safety team. Mm-hmm. And then I got this
Got
gig.
the call.
Yeah.
Got the call. Well,
yeah.
welcome.
Thank
We're looking forward to hearing your stories and your insight of 52 years. Let's see, I started in 83, so I think this makes 41 or so for me, if I do the math right. And for those of you who are just joining us from somewhere around the world, I also am a hot air balloon pilot. We're both still current. We both still fly. So if you have questions about how balloons fly and all those kinds of things, we'll attempt to answer those for you as well as we go through the morning.
Absolutely.
Yep, and so we, as we mentioned a few moments ago, we were waiting for pilot's briefing. It's been delayed until 6:15. So we'll be checking in with them in just a little bit. The weather here, though, I mean, you can already tell. Ted's in his shirt sleeves. I got a really light jacket on. This is probably the warmest anyone can remember for the start of a balloon fiesta ever. I mean, even people who have been flying here forever, that's what it's on everybody's mind. The weather is just so warm.
It was, I got out of the trailer this morning to come over here, and I was just like amazed of how warm it was. So, yeah, it's short sleeves for me. You know, after moving from Albuquerque to Pittsburgh, this is wonderful weather for me.
Yeah.
You know,
yeah.
I don't think I'll use a jacket all week long, but.
Well, and we have the nice jackets, but
we do.
yeah, we don't have the heaters on.
Nope.
So, yeah, there is a little bit of some gusty winds out of the south here that we're going to keep an eye on and watch. Again, we'll hear more of that at 6:15 from Pilots Briefing. I do want to start right off, though, that we know that people are watching from all over the place. And we got word that there's actually kind of an entire watch party of balloonists going on in Mississippi. Michigan.
Jackson, Michigan.
Michigan.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't know why. It's a kickoff party going on up there at the River Tree Church, which is the same location that was the home base for the U.S. Women's Nationals this past year. The balloon group organization that has put on the Women's Nationals for the last 2 or 3 years, they're all there watching. They're going to be putting it on again. And they do it upright. Like I said, they go to this River Tree Church.
Yep.
They bring in pinon coffee, green chili, breakfast burritos, and they turn on Balloon Fiesta Live.
I think it's awesome.
It is awesome.
It just shows you that how ballooning creates that friendship, you know, no matter where you are in the world. Whether you're in Jackson, Michigan, or, you know, we have Pauline Baker all the way in Ireland.
Yep.
So shout out, Pauline, to you guys out there. It's probably tea time for you right about now.
Well, that's why I started the show with good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. You know, yeah, it's morning. It's 6 o'clock here, 6:06 in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Even in Michigan, it's already after 8 o'clock in the morning back on the East Coast. And then, yes, it is the afternoon already over in Europe. And then we get people watching from down under, and it's I can't even do that, you know?
Right.
So, and then, of course, we have Rio Rancho, which is a suburb of Albuquerque. Somebody's texting in from the parking lot and in traffic. Here's Poplar Bluff, Missouri, wishing they were here. Romania and Belgium. You have what?
I have Nina Erickson. Good afternoon from Sweden. So good afternoon, Nina.
All right. Yeah. And let's see who else we got in there. Somebody's Lincoln, Nebraska's checking in. Folks from Plano, Texas,
yes.
South Carolina. Hope you guys are all doing well over there. Marquette, Michigan is also in. Canada's checking in. St. Louis.
Fort Worth, Texas.
Yeah. Oh, yep, and here they are. We just mentioned the folks in Jackson. So good to have you guys on here.
And greetings from China.
Yeah?
Amazing.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Amazing.
All around the world with the number of people watching. And, you know, let's just, since we've got a couple of minutes here, I think we ought to kick off our giveaway right off the bat here.
Let's do that.
So, like last year, we had special Balloon Fiesta Live license plates made up. New Mexico has, for a while, had these plates with the balloon on it. You see a replica of it there. And so we're making replicas that work on the front of your vehicle, or, of course, they hang really well on your wall as well. So all you have to do to be entered to win one of these is scan that QR code that's on the screen right now. You're going to put your contact information in the form. Basically, it's kind of a name and where you are. And at every single session that we do, we'll pull 3 names. So there's nobody in the list right now to pull from. So getting in right now, because we're going to pull 3 names at the end of this morning's session. So now would be a great time to scan that QR code, get entered in our Balloon Fiesta Live license plate giveaway. Only enter once. It saves me from having to dump your 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and 15th entries out of the deal.
Well, let's get these entries in so we can start giving away these plates.
Yep. So there they are. Scan the QR code. Go from there. The other thing that's happening here that's a little bit different this year, and it's not going to affect those of you who are watching us on Balloon Fiesta Live, but when you come to the field, You'll find out that our audio is no longer on the PA speakers here.
Correct.
It's an experiment to see how some things work here, to let folks enjoy more of the balloons and not have to listen to all of our yapping away. And so if you're coming out to the field, make sure that you bring a set of earbuds to go with your device. We have a whole Listen Live campaign. When you get to the field, you'll be able to scan the QR code that's here, and you'll have the opportunity to stream either the video or we actually have an audio stream up as well. I noticed that there's already about 50 people listening in on the audio stream as well, which of course you could do at home as well. If you just go to balloonfiesta.com, go to the Balloon Fiesta Live page, there's a link to listen live. So if for some reason you can't keep the video up, your bandwidth won't allow that or something like that, there is an audio only stream available as well. You can get it from scanning the QR code if you're here in the park, and if you're watching from home, just check out the balloonfiesta.com Balloon Fiesta Live webpage.
Absolutely. If you're here on the park, you should really just be streaming the audio because you have it all around you, right?
You've got everything you need to see right there.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
and all the people at home, you're going to continue to hear all the great commentary and see all the great scenes from which I think is one of the most unbelievable events in the world.
Well, it is, and while it's obviously still dark here, you can see a lot of lights, and I think we have a lot of people on the field. Like we said, traffic was pretty heavy very early coming in. We expect the governor of New Mexico to be here. She is scheduled to be in the Balloon of the Day with the board president, the Albuquerque International Balloon Fiesta Board of Directors president, Judy Nakamura. She is scheduled to take the colors aloft this morning with the governor in the basket as well. And again, that's on hold till about 7:15, normally at 7 o'clock. We did start the morning with a drone show at 5:45.
We did.
Before our broadcast, we recorded it, so we'll be putting that up. You'll be able to see that later. Yep, there's Main Street.
Yeah.
And look at the people in line for Dunkin' Donuts and get their jewelry. Yep, there they are. They're on the wall.
They're pretty happy.
Yeah.
Hi, Mom.
Yep. So the video wall is still here on the field, and they'll be able to see themselves there. Yep. Look at how crowded Main Street is.
Yeah. And you know what? I'm really excited also. You know, this year we've actually secured a couple pilots, right? Throughout the event where you guys are going to be able to actually fly. So if you've never flown in a balloon, I had the privilege a few years ago to fly for, at the time, XTO, the
It was
subsidiary.
the first year we ever had a camera in a balloon.
Yes, and I was able to fly that balloon and really had a fun time as a pilot, you know, going around. I don't know, maybe it was the luck of having a cameraman in there, but boxing the field 4 times, going into the river twice, it was just an amazing thing. So if you've never flown in a balloon, we're going to give you the opportunity all week long to do so.
We do, and so hopefully we'll be able to bring you great pictures from there, but that's our game plan. We've also added a new camera angle over at Pilot's Briefing that we'll talk about as we get closer to there. So we'll get a little bit more information and be able to kind of see more things happening out at the Pilot Briefing Tower. And that's scheduled in just another few minutes before we get to that. Let's see who else is online here. Ontario, Canada is checking in, watching us every year. Thanks, Paul. Appreciate that. Good morning from mile marker 232. Okay.
Yeah, well, you don't have to worry about the traffic out there, but you may have to tomorrow morning.
Yeah.
Or this evening.
Oh, yeah. Topeka, Kansas is checking in. Yeah. Okay. So the other new face and voice that we have here on Balloon Fiesta Live, we have a new field reporter joining us. So longtime Albuquerque broadcaster Diane Kinderwater is with us, and she's on the field. Hi, Diane.
Hey, Diane.
Good morning, Art. Good morning, Ted. Good morning, world out there. Wait, where am I? Am I at the Albuquerque International Balloon Fiesta? Because I'm used to always wearing my heavy jacket, my gloves, my scarf, my ski hat. But this fiesta, I don't need it. It is so nice and balmy out here. It's amazing. Of course, we in New Mexico all know that Albuquerque has just terrific weather no matter what you get. And of course, we're hoping for the very calm winds, and we're hoping for that bright sunshine that we're so used to. So, you know what? I see a lot of people stripping out here. That's not something you hear every day, do you? People stripping, they're taking their heavy jackets off. they're enjoying it. It's just so exciting. Yeah, we got it. Oh, people are starting to fan me. They say, why is she wearing these heavy jackets? Well, because that's what I'm used to. And if you know, when you come out here, you dress in layers. You've heard that, of course. Leave early, get to the park, but dress in layers because you might need those mittens. You might need those scarves, but not today. And I guess maybe not this week. We're going to enjoy great weather right here in the field. And we see a lot of people coming in. And yeah, a lot of winter hats, but they're coming off. We see a lot of now visors and baseball hats. So this is I think about my 40th Balloon Fiesta. I love it out here, the excitement, seeing people from all over the world come. And again, our friends right here in New Mexico come to the park. So I'm going to meet some of them. We're going to introduce you to the folks that we see out here, and we'll see you next time. So stay with us, and I'm going to send it back to the rooftop to Ted and to Art.
Thanks, Diane. Yeah, be
thanks,
careful
Diane.
with the stripping there, so don't go too far.
There are a lot of balloonists out here, so
Yeah.
My
Okay.
goodness.
Well, we're just a few minutes away from pilot's briefing. We're going to wait for the weather, check on the weather out there. We've put things on hold for about 15 minutes this morning, mostly, I think, due to the traffic and congestion. And first day, it's been 350 days since we've done this, so everybody's new, trying to find the way in, trying to find, and even the guys doing the traffic, while they do a great job of moving traffic along, sometimes it's kind of like, but people are in the wrong lanes because parking passes get you into certain lots, and it's all very organized, but if you're in the wrong place, it kind of messes up that organization some.
Right.
So first day jitters, kind of get that
coming
out.
to this event for years, my family was kind of spoiled being a pilot. You just kind of drive down on the field, and
Yeah.
and I have several relatives around town, and a few years back I gave one of them a pass, and their daughter called it a magical pass because they were used to sitting in the traffic for all that time.
Yeah.
So it was kind of funny. So my cousin Charlotte, I know she's out there watching, and we can't wait to see you later on the week with your magical pass. So.
All right. So again, we are here live at Balloon Fiesta Park, and we are just taking a quick look. And the field is obviously filling up. Pilot's briefing has gotten underway. We understand. We're going to wait for the weather, and we're going to go check on the weather, folks. And we'll get that weather from our pilot's briefing. Normally on a Maes Ascension day, we would have the drone patrol show at 5:45. Our dawn patrol folks would go up at 6 o'clock. We would set up our Krispy Kreme balloons at 6:30 and start our Maes Ascension at 7 o'clock, right after the balloon of the day and the national anthem and those types of things. Like I said, there's some wind concern here this morning, so we're waiting to see what happens. What's been happening all week, and it's been this pattern for about 2 weeks now in Albuquerque and expected to continue, and that is some breezy winds overnight that once the sun comes up, the breezes all die down, and people have been having great flights all week. So we're kind of hoping and expecting that to happen again today. We're going to wait and see. Sunrise isn't till closer to 7 o'clock.
Correct.
So we're about 45 minutes away from that. As you can see, it's still very dark on the field. We don't even have that pre-dawn light over the Sandia Mountains yet this morning.
And for example, yesterday it was really blowing, gusting, I think, to 30, 35 up along the mountains, and they had beautiful flights yesterday.
Yes, they did for Albuquerque Aloft.
Yes, and that's a really great thing. As a child, I became enamored with balloons growing up in the Northeast Heights, and having the balloons back then, as the field was further south, would float into the heights, and we would be out at recess and watching these balloons land, and that really kind of hooked me on what was going on. But when you get all these balloons together, I feel very confident. I always did as a pilot here. They have your best interests, not only just for the crowds, but for the pilots. And this is an event where, it's at pilot's discretion. You're not forced to ever fly. You make your own decisions, and you make the right decisions. And, I think aeronautical decision making is a key, and it's really a key when you have 500 balloons in the air, to be quite honest with you. So
I just got messaged some pictures from our group in Jackson.
Oh, awesome!
Yeah, the folks up there, and so the big TV with the show open on there, and then they're all in line getting their chili and their breakfast burritos.
We'll save us a breakfast burrito. How's that sound?
Well, No, go ahead and enjoy them yourself.
Yeah.
So I was talking about the game plan here. Of course, this opening day, little more opening ceremonies. We are scheduled for a flyover with our Chile Express, a group of volunteer pilots who restore some older planes, and that's now scheduled at that 7:15 time frame. We've got stuff happening on the field today as well. This afternoon, we've got the first balloon glow scheduled. Things get started here on the field about 5 o'clock when Team Fast Tracks jumps in. We'll record that and play it back for all of those of you who are not here. And we'll play that back when we come on the air at 6 o'clock Mountain Time. And then shortly after that, 6:30 is when our balloon glow is scheduled to start. So the balloons will start inflating there. We're going to hopefully have a great balloon glow tonight. That'll be followed by Team Fast Tracks jumping back in with their pyrotechnics show. The new drone show will be after that, and then our ever fabulous afterglow fireworks will wrap up the evening.
Yeah, extremely awesome fireworks show.
Yeah.
I've been to a lot of shows, and it's amazing.
And the one here always seems to get better.
Oh, every year, especially when they go in the Arroyo over there to the west, and they blow up those.
Well, they're so close when they're over there.
Yes.
And actually, towards the end of the week, I think all of our fireworks will be over on that side, so they're all going to be much closer. We'll still get all the aerials and things like that, but they're going to be coming up the west side of the field as well. So, So we've got Miami watching as well. Let's see. Oh, somebody's seeing some burners going off. Yep. One of the things when pilot briefing is delayed a little bit, pilots will take advantage of that time to go ahead and hook up the system, make sure that they have the right amount of pressure, no leaks, all that great stuff. There's a great shot of the Balloon Museum, which is off behind us.
Yep.
In the background, that's those kind of spiky lights going up in their rooms. A lot of people over in the Albuquerque International Balloon Museum. And we understand that they are watching us on Balloon Fiesta Live as well.
Well,
so
good morning to everyone over at the Balloon
Museum. Over at the
Museum.
Balloon Museum. Glad that you are watching us as well.
Good morning, Wisconsin. Chris, come out and see us. We're going to have a great fiesta, to be honest with you.
Yes, we are. The old Fiesta balloon, not the turquoise one. The governor's in the turquoise, we're in the other one.
This is the time of morning, folks, where as a pilot over at briefing, you're really paying attention, or you're trying to pay attention. You haven't seen some of your friends for 365 days. So as much as you really, really want to fly and see your friends, it's a very important part of the morning to be listening to the weather briefing, what's going on, and prepare yourself mentally. Because, again, going throughout the country, you see 4 or 5, 6 balloons places. In Albuquerque on the weekends here, you would see normally 20, 30, 40.
Right.
Now you're going to see 500, and so you've got to mentally in your head put together about how you're going to fly and control your flight, and there's a lot of things going through your head as a pilot right now. It's kind of nice for me after all these years. The first time I ever did safety, it was like, well, I don't have to stress out about any of that stuff anymore.
Right.
So, but it's an important part of the day when they're out there at the pilot briefing, really learning what's going on, and we're now starting to see the Sandia Mountains kind of come into view a little bit. We have these bright studio lights, but that gorgeous New Mexico sunrise is about to happen here at Balloon Fiesta Park.
It is. You're talking about the flights here. The last time that I actually flew off the field during a Balloon Fiesta, I remember literally being in balloon traffic for 45 minutes. And that's typically the entire flight, and we're used to flying. Okay, yeah, you get up and maybe there's a couple around you, but then pretty soon you're separated and you're out and away and all those kinds of things. So it's like, but having been there, it definitely takes concentration to be able to fly during Balloon Fiesta, which is part of the reason that we make this an invitation, that we vet the pilots that we allow into to the event. We ask them questions about, have you flown at 5,000 feet? Have you flown with 50 other balloons at the same time?
Right.
Questions like that. And, we talked about how warm it is here. That affects how the balloon flies as well.
Absolutely, 100%. And, when you talk about flying at a mile high,
right,
the balloon reacts so much different. I've had the privilege of flying down in Georgia, in California, in Pennsylvania. The balloon reacts so much everywhere. We're a mile high, so there's less oxygen up here. You get a little bit more sluggish feel. You don't get the response time that you normally would get in a lower altitude. So you want to make sure that you're being safe, the people around you are being safe, and it's just something that you're right. They really do a nice job of vetting the people that come out here. And, I never had a problem over all the years that I flew. It was just it was an enjoyable time. It just becomes a little stressful because you're not used to having 500
people around you.
Yeah.
Right, exactly.
In the air.
In the air. And especially we launch in waves, so it's not like 500 all of a sudden lift off, kind of like the 500 drones all go up together.
Correct.
So we go off in waves and those types of things. But where I was kind of headed with that, not only does that altitude make a difference from sea level to a mile high, as you talked about, but as the air gets warmer and the temperature gets warmer, that also impacts the density of the air.
Absolutely.
So the other day, midday, which is not when we fly, but I just happened to check in the middle of the day, the density altitude here at Albuquerque was 8,000 feet. That means flying a balloon would be like flying it at 8,000 feet as opposed to 5,000 feet. So now I'm another half mile higher yet. So I'm going to get a whole lot more slow response to my balloon in trying to turn it around, make it go up, and those kinds of things.
Well, and the warmer it is outside, obviously, the less weight you can take with you.
Right.
So you have to be very cautious and cognizant about that. Balloons are not cheap, especially if you're going to go out and buy a brand new one. And we'll see some brand new balloons coming up that cost lots of money. But even though you want to make sure that you're taking care of that fabric, you don't want to overtemp the balloon because other things start happening when you do that. Your red line will shrink. Your balloon will start to, you'll have all sorts of issues, and we don't want to have any of that. We want to have a fun time and an enjoyable flight and a safe flight.
Well, because people don't, and there's some of the winds that we've been talking about a little bit there. What you're talking about in the temperature there, balloons fly because you heat the air inside, the air becomes less dense and therefore goes up. But it takes, I kind of just watching things here, in my brain, the envelope just to stand up has to be about 100 degrees warmer than the outside air. So if it's 70 degrees here, then the top of my balloon, just to stand it up, needs to be about 170 degrees. And then if I want to fly, I've got to get it warmer than that. And the fabric, the manufacturers of the fabric, put a maximum temperature on that balloon. And for most fabrics, it's about 250 degrees.
That's correct.
So you see, if I'm already at 170 standing it up, I don't have a whole lot of room to put a lot more heat in there before I start over-temping the fabric.
Absolutely. And then as you go up, that altitude density kicks in. And so you need even more lift and less response time. And it's just amazing to me, just thinking back over all the years. You start with those 13 original balloons, and I guess in 2000 we had 1,000 balloons out here, and now we're tipping over 500. And it's just, to watch this thing grow over all the years, to me, is just an amazing thing.
And we actually kind of cap it at that 550 these days now. Just we only have so many launch sites, but even more important, we have even fewer landing sites.
Yes.
As the city continues to infill and grow and fill in all those areas, then
Well, and talking about landing, different pilots will have different views on this, but I was taught to have a very safe landing, you want to have at least 1,000 feet for every knot of wind that you're flying at.
Yes.
And so if you guys think about that for a second, years ago in Albuquerque, you look out to the west side, you had thousands of feet to land. So, you got these guys going out there, and they would go out in 15, 20 knot winds, which by the way, the waiver for us to safely fly, and the waiver through the FAA is only 10 knots. It cannot exceed that on the field. But if you think about nowadays and you fly out of here and you fly south or you kind of go west and you don't clear the river, there's not a lot of places. If you're going 5 knots, you need 5,000 feet. That's about a mile worth of land to safely land. Now, that's not saying you have to go all the way to the ground, but as you make your approach, and there's not that type of spacing out there as there was. So as a pilot, I really loved it when I saw that the winds were flowing to the north and to the west, and all that open land out there in Rio Rancho is a welcome sight for a pilot.
And in fact, there's actually a program in Albuquerque now, X marks the spot, where we're asking landowners that do have big fields, big areas, big open areas, to allow us to land our balloons there and to express that permission to land by putting a white sheet or a white X in that land.
Right.
And our pilots can see that from the air, and they can say, oh, that's going to be a friendly landing spot.
And people don't realize year-round, Nancy Wirtz and her team with Landowner Relations, they spend a tremendous amount of time out in the community and here in Albuquerque getting people to agree to that, and she works tirelessly with her team to make that happen. So again, there's a lot of moving pieces for Fiesta. People I don't think really realize until you come out here. I didn't really realize it a lot. As a pilot, yes, you see all the moving pieces, but when you get involved in the organization, wow, it's just an amazing, amazing event. And these are all volunteers, by the way.
Right. I was just going to say there's about 18 paid staff members of the Albuquerque International Balloon Fiesta. And there's a board of directors that is volunteer, that is numbers in 24. And then we bring in 1,200 volunteers we call navigators, and they're the ones that make this work. And many of them work just the 9 days, but there are hundreds of them that work at least in the month of September setting things up, and there are others that work year-round to help us put this event on.
Here's that beautiful sun about ready to
Sun's
come around
the
Sandia Mountains.
And you'll notice that the camera shot that we have is actually a little bit better than the visual shot that we have.
Right.
These great cameras that we have and the great work we always get from our folks at Windfire Productions. They will be bringing us the great shots and making sure that you can hear us and see us and all those great things. And the cameras always can bring up show us a little more light, a little more color and activity that's going on than we might be able to see with our own bare eyes here on the field.
Well, we are certainly hoping to bring our audience around the world morning flights and glowing nights for the next 10 days.
Yep. So we'll be here for all of those sessions. We start at 6 a.m. For evening sessions, we start at 6 p.m. And so wherever that time zone is, it's nice that it's like 1200 and 0000 on the UTC clock.
There's our camera shot
there
from
we
the
are.
north to the south. We can
from
wave
the north end. That's us. Yeah, you kind of see a kind of more of a turquoise a little bit kind of in the center of the left, and then a little bit of dark. We're the next part of that. So if we
you can see us.
So if we kind of wave, you'll see us kind of waving there. That's one of our camera angles all the way from the north end. We have another camera angle that is over on the Main Street stage. So that's, in fact, that looks like it right there. So there's looking down Main Street. We'll also be able to turn that around and show you the field as well. We've got a camera here on the stage with us, not only for us, but one looking out to the field. There you go. Looking back out that way. And we've got another one that is over at the pilot briefing tower, which we should be going to shortly as soon as they get to the weather over there.
Right.
First morning pilots briefing, a lot of, hey, remember this, keep this in mind, going through all the rules, regulations, that waiver you talked about. The waiver is basically allows us to not have to pay attention to two particular parts of the federal aviation regulations. We're hot air balloons are aircraft, and we have to fly under those regulations. And so we get a couple of minimum safe altitude restrictions lowered by the use of that waiver.
Right.
The other thing that happens here, too, which a number of people don't understand, is we set up a TFR, or a temporary flight restricted area, for a 4 nautical mile radius around the park. And no one can fly any aircraft in that 4-mile cone without the express permission of Balloon Fiesta. So obviously our 550 balloons can fly here. We've got a couple of news helicopters and law enforcement helicopters that are flying around. We can put our drone show up, but there are no personal drones. There are no non-registered aircraft. They all have to stay outside that area during Balloon Fiesta.
Absolutely. And as for pilots, they're also reminding them at this point, what they need to do to be safe and to operate safely. When you do leave the field, they don't want you ascending faster than 200 feet a minute. Although in the past I've watched the shows and seen many people like to want to buzz us up here on the tower, but they have to be 75 feet above us. So we're close to that number right now. So as they go up, they're hopefully 300, 400, 500 feet as they've made their ascent out of the field. Today, though, as you mentioned, they could be going a different direction from us, but that's fine because we have a wonderful view up here of all the action going down on the field. We just got a message from Albania.
Oh, yeah?
Mario. So good afternoon in Albania.
All right, lots of conversations there. There is also a flag on the field, a status flag. While we've shown you some of the decorative flags that are around, we do have a status flag that will be either green, yellow, or red. Red means we've canceled the events. It is not red. Green means we're a go. Unfortunately, it's not green yet.
Right.
Right now it's in the yellow state, and that won't change until after pilot's briefing has been completed.
You can actually see it right there blowing in the wind. Right.
Oh, yeah, you sure can.
Yeah,
Yep.
right to the left, almost to the center. All right.
All right. Yeah, so Diane's been talking with some folks down there, and she's willing to talk on air with some more. So, Diane, what you got?
I have a surprise for you. I have the map of the United States, right? Do I have the map of the United States here? We've got people from all over the country. I found them on the west bleachers. On the west sides, we have these great bleachers to see the balloons and new places to see it. So when you come to the Balloon Fiesta, head to the west because that's where it's not very crowded. But I said the United States. Starting from the west part, we have Jack from Hawaii. Welcome. Welcome.
Thank you.
And then we have
Lena from Minnesota.
Aaron from Iowa.
Terry from Pittsburgh.
Joe from Pittsburgh.
Miles
Miles
from Albuquerque.
And Joni from Tampa.
Tampa. So we go from the west coast to the east coast. And if you can believe this, none of these folks has been to Balloon Fiesta before. Never. Why did you come?
We wanted to see the balloons. We heard it was an amazing display, so here we are. We go on a girls' trip every year, and we picked Albuquerque. So,
What did you heard about Albuquerque and the Balloon Fiesta?
The mountains, the drones, and the beautiful balloons.
What did you think of the drones this morning?
I haven't seen it in person before. It was really fun to see how there were so many moving around. We saw all the countries and different continents. It was beautiful.
What will you tell your friends back home?
what an amazing time and how cool Albuquerque is. So, yeah.
What do you think of the weather?
It's hot.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
it's not right now.
Compared to Minnesota, it's hot. Yeah.
So you women are hot in Minnesota.
Yeah,
And
we're hot
in-
everywhere. Yeah.
Jack,
Yes.
you're from Hawaii? You came from Hawaii?
Yeah,
for this?
I just moved here a couple months ago. Yeah.
What did you hear about the Balloon Fiesta?
I've been looking at it for quite a while, so it's on my bucket list today.
Fantastic.
Got it all
What
done.
did you think of the drones?
Oh, they were pretty cool. I took a lot.
Okay, we're going from the West Coast now back to the East Coast.
Terry, yeah.
Terry.
We came to the Balloon Fest because, first of all, we came to see our grandson.
He's adorable.
And this was a bonus. So this is going to be fun, huh? Say hi. Hi.
Oh, smiles from all the kids. What did you think of the drones?
Oh, they were awesome. Very beautiful, colorful.
Had you seen drones before like this?
Last Christmas in our hometown, yes, they had a drone display.
Hey, Diane.
Not like this, though.
Not like that.
Not like this. Okay,
Tampa, Florida.
Tampa,
Joni.
we got the water. Now here in New Mexico, we've got a lot of beach. Did you know that, Joni? A lot of beach here.
We've seen some rivers and things, not some.
We
a lot of sand.
What do you call beaches?
Sand.
So
Just like Tampa.
here we got a lot of beaches with sand, but not the water you have in Tampa.
Not so much. Not so much.
Why did you come to Albuquerque and the Albuquerque International Balloon Fiesta?
We had cousins that lived in Santa Fe, and they had seen it last year, and the pictures were amazing. And we were waiting to see the balloon glow and hoping that the wind dies down a little bit. So
There's so
everybody
much
gets
to do here.
it.
Thank you for coming all this way from Tampa. So this is our United States. We're all going to throw a kiss back. Back to you on the set.
Hey, Diane. You still there? Maybe.
Nope. She slipped away from us.
That's okay.
But from your hometown, Pittsburgh.
Yes, I was going to tell them people, you should enjoy yourself. That's a little euphemism. Just only in Pittsburgh. It's kind of strange. It's kind of like y'all.
Oh, okay.
It's yins.
It's yins?
So for all my fellow yinsers out there in the Berg, I think Paul and Nicole Griskinski are watching live back in Pittsburgh. Yins guys need to come out because it's an amazing event.
Oh, well, there's kind of a good sign. Someone has stretched the envelope out.
Yes.
And actually, I hear the fan going, so they're starting to put a little cold air in there.
It looks like that's actually the Fiesta balloon is what it looks
should
like to
be.
me. Yes.
It should be the 2 Fiesta balloons will be the balloons of the day. So we should be getting some there. I noticed on the chat, just like while Diane was talking, somebody says, "Yippee, my crew just made it." So.
You know, it's kind of funny. We always, as pilots, tell our crew we want to meet here at this certain time, and there's always that 1 or 2 people that just they disappear, but you don't want to leave them, right? You don't want to leave them there. So, you know, and for weeks you're planning this, and sometimes it just doesn't work out the way that you planned.
Well, it's really easy to put your plans together, but then, like you said, there's 550 other balloons with somewhere, and this is always the time when your crew grows from 4 or 5 people to 10 or 15 people.
Oh, yes, it is quite amazing.
Everybody wants to crew during Balloon Fiesta.
Right. Or you'll start getting those calls like October 1st. Hey, are you out there flying this year? Is there any chance I could get a flight?
Yes.
And that's one thing as a pilot, you know, year-round when you're flying, your crew is lean sometimes.
Right.
But those people that are hardcore and they're gamers out there every weekend, those are the ones that you really want to take care of during Balloon Fiesta. And not that you don't want to take care of other friends and family members, but it's kind of funny how they all come out of the woodwork this first full weekend in October.
Yeah, we used to tell our friends and relatives that, you know, if you want to come out during Balloon Fiesta, that's great. Come on out and watch. If you want to come out and get a balloon ride, come another time when we can go have more times there. Not that it's incredible. In fact, it's really hard to describe, and hopefully you're going to be able to see that with our balloon camera shot when we get balloons in the air. What it's like to fly off this field with tens of thousands of people standing here cheering you off and hundreds of balloons flying around you. Even if you're the first one off, you're still going to see all these balloons inflating on the ground, and they're going to be joining you up there shortly. So.
Right. Well, you know, I'm a huge sports fan. You know this, Art.
Yes.
And although I was never good enough to make it as a professional baseball player, you always wanted to envision what it sounded like when you hit that home run in the game, bottom of the ninth. Well, I actually never hit a home run in a game, but when you take off a Fiesta Field, that's what it really feels and sounds like with the crowd roaring that you just hit a home run. So it was actually that's how I became right.
So just getting an update on what's happening out there at pilots briefing. And just like we said, they're going through all the rules, all the regs about being safe, about landing. They've not gotten to weather yet, but it sounds like they might be getting close.
Hopefully we won't have any PZs the first day.
No, PZs being prohibitive zones, places that you can't land. There's already year-round ones of those. But, yeah, we don't need to be creating any others there as well. So, again, we have a shot of and this is part of the process here. The pilot is going to be over at pilot's briefing, and so the crew has connected the envelope to the basket. It's on the left-hand side there. You kind of see a little bit of white. Yep. That's the banner on the side of the basket. It's connected to the envelope, which is the fabric part. We can see clearly that is the older Balloon Fiesta balloon.
Yes.
There is a newer one that we built here at Balloon Fiesta during the 50th Balloon Fiesta.
Inside the SID. They built it.
We built it right here.
Sewed it every day.
They did. They did a lot of the cutting before they got here and did all the sewing once they got here. And then we stood it up on the last Saturday of the 50th. And Judy Nakamura is scheduled to fly that one with Governor Michelle Lujan Grissom in that. And our camera should be in this balloon when we get them standing up. So.
Well, you mentioned the banners, and I think maybe a good time to talk about the banners with our folks out there, what they signify.
Sure.
You know, most people, they just think it's a number, right, that you threw up there. But actually, banner numbers 1 through 20 signify our top 20 finishers in competition last year. And then you go beyond that, our competitors are number 1s through 299, I believe, is what it is.
Yep.
And
under 300.
300 going up to 599 are just participants who are in the event. 600 are all of our ride balloons, and 700 are
rodeo special shape balloons.
Special shape rodeos.
Which is always brings the question up. Hey, if you only have 550 balloons, how can I have a banner number of 700?
Right.
Well, that's why.
Yes.
That's why that is. Hey, let's go back down to the field with Diane Kinderwater.
What's your first? Do you have a balloon yet? With ceiling, the one I already mentioned.
Well, we're back here on the field, on the west side of the field still. Now, we took you around the United States and the last time you came to me. Now we're going international. We're going to Mexico City. Actually, we're in Albuquerque, but we have folks from Mexico City. And I have with everybody wave. Buenos dias.
Buenos
Vamos a platicar. And you know, in New Mexico, English and Spanish are both our official. They said Buenos dias back. Both are official languages. So in this broadcast right now, we're going to talk to you in English and in Spanish. But I'm going to introduce you to. We're going to introduce you to Mateo, Joaquin, y mi amiga Dulce de Mexico City.
Hola.
Hola.
Hola. Buenos dias.
Mateo would like to be the youngest pilot from Mexico City to fly here in the Albuquerque Balloon Fiesta. Mateo, tell me about your dream to be the youngest pilot from Mexico City here.
Well, ever since I was a small kid, or a little kid if you will, I've always loved balloons. In fact, one of my very first words was balloon in Spanish, or bobo, that's balloon in baby talk. But over the years the dream grew, but as I've grown, that dream has not died down. And now that I'm finally here, it's a reality. It's a reality. It's a cathartic moment.
We're going to visit with Mateo again and his mother Dulce when we come back. Back to you on the stage.
Thanks, Diane. We have gotten to the weather part of our pilot's briefing, so let's pick up pilot's briefing and get the weather scoop.
At 5. Up at Double Eagle, much cooler, temperature of 52 degrees, dew point of 30 degrees, relative humidity 43%. Barometric pressure was 30.31 inches of mercury, and they were reporting a calm wind. So we've seen on the wide scale area, regional observations anyway, that this drainage has tried to set up in Santa Fe, but it's really fighting a lot of that southerly flow, and so it's really struggling to get here. However, up near Bernalillo, we already are starting to see a north wind trying to develop. I do not think it's going to reach Fiesta Park here, but if we're able to fly this morning, you may, as you continue up towards the north, I think that you'll see, you might find that shallow box possibly taking you back to the south, but it would be very shallow, and I don't think it would last overly long. Overall, I think the profile this morning is that we're going to see the winds continue to turn right as you go aloft. So there is going to be a little bit of a southeast to northwest component to it, taking you up towards Rio Rancho if you stay in the near surface layer. If you go higher, you're going to go more south to north, and then maybe even hooking a little bit towards the east if you go high enough to where you're up in this faster stuff, and that would take you well to the north. But like I mentioned, the models have all indicated this, and we believe this is the case, that trend is going to be that the winds are going to continue to decrease in that speed layer. As that continues to decrease, I also expect the gustiness that we've seen here over the last few hours to decrease as well. If we can get that temperature separation, so right now we're running generally right around like 67 degrees, which is still incredibly warm for the start of Fiesta. If we see that temperature start to cool just a little bit, I think that we'll see the gustiness die off as well. So that's what we're hopeful for, but we'll continue to monitor those trends. I do want to point out the density altitude is right around 6,400 feet, which is incredibly high for what we see typically at Fiesta. So be aware of that, how that's going to impact your equipment and your system as you're flying. So the main points are going to be is that the winds will turn as you go aloft, turn right. We do have this profiler system, and we've got QR codes at the base of the towers if you didn't get that Remind system that we sent out yesterday. Again, Henry talked about signing up for the Remind. We sent the pieball information out from earlier this morning, realized that wind has decreased in the layer, but we've got the profiler. The profiler and the LiDAR system are in the north, so those are melded together. You'll see that, you can see that when I'm showing this profiler, the lowest 500 feet has a lot of resolution to it, and then above it we do not have as much resolution. That's because this lowest 500 feet is LiDAR information, and the stuff above it is all wind profiler information. So it's two different instruments working together. That's on the north. We also have a LiDAR system on the south end, just behind the Gondola Club there. That is only a LiDAR system, so it's only going to give you the lowest 500 feet. But the website information gives you the option for both north and south, and you can view it in either the barb format, or you can also go to the table if you prefer that direction there. Like I mentioned, we're still watching the speed layer right around 1,000 feet, but it has continued to moderate. It's down from about 40 knots to about 25, but we're going to continue to monitor that. Okay, with that, this morning I have Ashlyn and Ace with the pie ball in the back. Do we have any launch directors in the area to give them permission to launch? And while they're launching that, if you have a youngster that would like to be a weather helper, see one of our weather team members throughout the week, and we can get them signed up for that. We prefer to know a little bit ahead of time and get that all scheduled. While we're watching the pie ball, I want to give a shout out to Duncan Devenant is back again this year with the weather team. Karen Wells is doing the wind radio loop, the weather radio loop, and Don Day has joined the weather team this year, and he's up here on the tower as well. Oh, let me get you switched. I got that one. Okay.
So pilots briefing.
Yep.
And we're let me get take pilots out of my ear.
Yeah.
So little directions back to the truck there as we work through our opening day deals here.
Right.
So the game plan here, as we heard and as kind of we predicted, they talked about the density altitude being a little higher to be taking care of that. Definitely warmer. And the good news is that the winds are calming down.
Correct.
Which we said we would hope for. And we heard that there could be a very shallow box. But basically the winds are going to be coming out of the south. There may be a direction over to the north and northwest, which is that wide open space you were talking about. So there might be a direction there, but there's the northerly drainage flow that is typical here is not here. It's out another 5-10 miles. It's trying to set up, but we're not sure we're going to get it. So when the sun actually pops over the Sandias, we'll really be able to see what things happen here.
Right, when the sun mixes in, what's going on,
and all this starts
heats
mixing
up.
in.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, and I think most people that they're pilots, I understand, but if they're just the public looking around, we as balloonists, we deal in a micro environment.
Right.
Very small.
Very micro.
5 to 10 miles at the most. I just saw something come across in Placitas. They say there's no wind, and that's only about 12 miles over the right side of the mountain to us.
Exactly.
So you as a pilot, you really want to be cognizant of that.
Aware of what's out there.
Yes.
But very, very cognizant in the micro.
Absolutely. So.
And I always like to tell people, you watch the TV weather, right? And they're talking about weather for the state and the big deals and sometimes even the weather stuff that you find online. And it says, Tuesday is going to be breezy. Well, but what part of Tuesday?
Right.
Because they're making a statement for one part of the day, and it changes every 15 minutes.
Absolutely. And then we have the canyon down south. So, a lot of times as a pilot, when you go out when it's not Balloon Fiesta and you're going to go out and you're just going to fun fly or you're going to have family in from out of town, you call the Ryder Flight Service. And it's kind of funny sometimes. They'll say, there's a low pressure system. Oh, wait a minute, you're in Albuquerque, and that's way down in Las Cruces. Yeah, that doesn't affect us at all.
Yeah.
So,
the only time you worry about things that are that far off is if there's like some major thunderstorm.
Absolutely, yeah, because you can get outflow from a thunderstorm.
And we've seen those go hundreds of miles.
Absolutely.
So
Absolutely.
We're always cautious of that. The yellow flag is still up. We'll be Henry was just our balloon meister Henry Rosenbaum was just about to start giving folks the actual game plan here. So we'll hear that shortly. And they will either change that flag to green, they'll leave it on yellow, but there'll be directions, and we'll start seeing some action happening here on the field shortly. We can see a lot of people out there. We see the trucks all staged, the trailer. There's still a little breeze on each of the chase flags. There's the Union Jack down there in the lower right.
Yeah, I think, ballooning, most people, they expect you to come out and just like catch a bus, and it's more of hurry up and wait.
There's the status flag.
Yes. Yes.
So we'll be keeping an eye on that.
And when they turn that to green, and that's wishful thinking, it's actually really cool. I was able to do that as a safety official, and you find a kid in the crowd.
Who gets to change the flag?
Yeah, and to bring the kid over and to see them raise that flag from yellow to green is an amazing thing. And they get that cheer too, like they just hit a home run.
They do.
So,
well, as we've kind of alluded, it's really all about family and community. You can't go fly your balloon by yourself.
No.
It takes a group of folks. And Fiesta is the time when it brings it all together. And then, like as you mentioned earlier, this is the time it's like a huge family reunion with 500 of your closest balloonists, and they all got 10 people with them. So literally thousands of people between the balloonists and the crew, and then you get even the spectators that come out, and maybe this is the only time they met you one Balloon Fiesta, and they always come back and check it out a little bit later.
Yeah, I'll give you an example. Peter George from the UK, he flies Grand Britannia balloon. I met him about 9 years ago, and we just met online, and we've become very good friends. Now, I've never been to the UK. I'm planning to go visit him, but it's the friendship that you have year round, and I'll be. Maybe whether I'm here in New Mexico or I'm out traveling, he may see me online and we have a chit chat, and it's almost like, having a long lost brother. And then when they come, it's, especially at pilot registration, you see these people you haven't seen in forever, and it's a warm, fuzzy, happy feeling. It's a great event. Like you said, it's a family event, and it really drives everything home. So that's why I keep coming back. You can take you can take the land out of enchantment. I can leave the land of enchantment, but you can't take it out of you.
Yeah, no, you can't.
Or sometimes they call it the land of entrapment, right?
So we were just looking at one of the Rainbow Riders balloon setups there. You saw how big the basket is there, and what was encouraging to me was it looked like there was a pilot or a crew member up in the basket, like they were actually putting some things together and checking some things. Those, of course, are some of the first balloons that we put up in the sky when we're going to go fly. And so we kind of watch, and when they start doing some things, we know some things are coming together.
Highly encouraging.
Yeah, it always a good sign there. There's their truck.
Yep.
This would probably be a good opportunity to talk about the founder of Rainbow Riders, Scott Appleman. Also was a member of the board of directors here at Balloon Fiesta. He was instrumental in getting the balloon glow and the special shapes days started here at Balloon Fiesta. Unexpectedly passed away last month, and actually in late August. And we definitely miss his impact, not only on Balloon Fiesta and Rainbow Riders, but he had served on the board of the Balloon Federation of America, and just an instrumental force in the ballooning community in all aspects. And
a huge part of ballooning, and has done a lot for the communities, not just in Albuquerque, but throughout the country, as you mentioned.
His ride organization is in 4 states. He's headed up the whole ride division that took care of all the ride operators and worked with all the ride operators all across the country. Has been instrumental in working on relationships between the Federal Aviation Administration and the ballooning community, and huge loss to the ballooning community, and we definitely miss Scott.
Our sympathies go out to his wife Heather and the family, and he will live on.
He will, and we'll Well, with that, we kind of interrupted Diane earlier when we went to pilot's briefing, but we have her back now. But she's, I think Mateo might have gotten away from her, but she snagged somebody else. Diane, take it away.
Well, while you're working there on the rooftop
What's
studio,
going
I'm
on
just
here?
chilling with my new friends, Michael from Albuquerque and Garrett from Cabo San Lucas. So we're driving around the field, looking at everybody standing, walking around, jumping. And guess what? I found these two guys just kind of chilling out, hanging out here. So since you're from Albuquerque, you know what this is all about, and you know that you don't have to rush things. You can just have mañana right now.
That's it. We do this all the time. This is the best place to be, right here in Albuquerque. Early October.
But in your chairs, your low-hanging chairs?
Low-hanging chairs. We got the Sandia Mountains to the east. Just saw the sunrise come up. just waiting for the balloonists to pull out their hot air balloons and get ready to launch.
I picked him out not only because he's very handsome and he's chilling. I love the purple. I love the purple.
Yeah. Got these at the Balloon Fiesta gift shop a couple of weeks ago.
What do you think of the color?
I love the colors.
I love the colors.
Yeah.
That's what made me stop, because I like bright colors too.
Good.
But it looks good on you, Michael. Okay, Garrett.
Good morning.
Good morning. Buenos días.
Buenos días, ¿cómo está?
Bien, gracias.
Bien.
Eso es una cosa muy internacional, ¿verdad? The Balloon Fiesta, Globo de Fiesta.
Yeah, well, we came from Cabo San Lucas and brought our beach chairs with us.
Well, I already said the last time, you know we have a lot of beach here in New Mexico, a lot of beach.
Really?
No,
No, I was going to say where.
You know where the beach is.
It's just directly west of us.
It's all over. We got sand. Sand everywhere. High desert sand. We got a lot of sand. But the problem is, Garrett, we don't have much water to go with it, do we?
No beach land, right? No beach front.
Have you been to the Balloon Fiesta previously?
This is my first year. My cousins invited me, and here I am.
What are you expecting?
The balloons, of course. Very colorful event, but I'm impressed by the amount of the size here and the amount of land it takes, and the transportation was actually impressive.
What kind of transportation did you take?
The bus systems from a church, and they had it very well organized.
Yeah.
Except they need longer leg chairs in the buses.
You're stretching out here. We have plenty. What do you think of this grass here in the high desert?
That's good. They don't have this back in Cabo.
Ooh, a lot of grass, green grass.
Very
What did you think of that sunrise?
It's nice, nice. I like the Sandia Mountains across the back when the sun's coming up. It's very majestic.
Well, thank you. Thank you for coming. And thanks for looking so good here at Fiesta. Back to you.
All right, Diane. You've yeah.
Well, yeah, you know,
They're already asking on the chat, why is she laying down on the ground?
Right. Well, life's a beach for her, right?
Second delay.
Crazy there. Hey, we saw that jacket that the guy was wearing, and he said he had picked it up at the Balloon Fiesta stuff store there, right? This is a good time because another new thing that we have for our Balloon Fiesta Live visitors and viewers is that we have a special discount code for you. So if you were to go online to balloonfiestastuff.com, and you can scan that QR code. It'll take you right to balloonfiestastuff.com. You can go shopping, and you can get your own Balloon Fiesta merchandise. And if you put the code Fiesta24 in the little discount code when you get to the checkout box, you'll be able to save 10% on any of our sportswear. So the jacket that you just saw, sweatshirts,
T-shirts,
hats,
headwear.
anything that you would wear
Right.
is going to qualify for that 10% discount. Now's the time to go. Of course, if we were talking to folks on the field, we'd be sending them to the merchandise tents.
Absolutely.
So if you're listening on the field here, we've got merchandise tents at the north and the south end. For those of you just watching us online, you can shop and save at balloonfiestastuff.com. Scan the QR code. It'll take you there. One-time only use on the code there, but it's Fiesta24. Save 10% on any of your sportswear. So take advantage of that. And we always tell people, buy early.
Yes, because the stuff's going to be gone before long.
And some people always say, well, why don't you just order more? Why don't you just order more? The merchandise, especially the clothing, is made especially for us and for this year. So we're doing pretty good at this, predicting what's going to sell and how many of what size do we need of these types of things. So we put all that stuff together, we make these orders, and the stuff is then literally created. It's not like just go pull it off the shelf somewhere else. And so we have that, and yeah, but sometimes we kind of guess wrong.
Right.
Things that we say, oh, this will really sell, maybe it doesn't. Stuff that we say, well, we won't get so much, we're not so sure about this, and it sells out. So, yeah, always get there and get with it.
There is Ray Bear, who's our pilot for the Fiesta Balloon, that's going to be taking the camera up for us, talking to the zebras.
And the zebras are?
Parked in the right community.
Zebras are launch directors, and they're the only ones that can actually launch you off of the field. As a safety officer or official, we were always asked, why can't we go? Why can't we? Well, the zebras are trained, and there's a whole herd of them that are out there that are launching people, and you have to really watch them and go through them. That's a year-round process as well. They're always bringing on new people, vetting them in, training them, and getting them out there. And although it may sound weird, a zebra in training is known as a zit.
A zit,
yes.
Yeah. Affectionately,
affectionately
known as
no
a zit.
clearasil is needed for those folks. So
just saw another couple of burners go off here, so we'll continue to, and some repositioning of some trucks there. But
well, if you look at the flags there towards the south end of the field, it's encouraging. They seem to be slowing down a little bit.
Yes.
As a pilot, that's one of the things that we're always doing. You know, a lot of my friends, think I'm kind of geeky because, going around and I'm always taking pictures of clouds. I don't know about you, but that's one of my favorite things to do is take pictures of clouds because clouds come with wind, and wind is not good for ballooning. So we want to make sure that what's going on out there, right?
And never pass a flag without looking at it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, even the ones right here on the truck right here in front of us that we can't see you there. They're all starting to calm down here. So. And let's see, where are we? We're just another couple minutes away from sunrise officially today.
Right.
Is 7:05. So officially right now, but of course they still got to get over the mountain.
Right. And being here as long as we have, when that sun does come up, it changes everything.
It does.
And it's kind of hard to explain to people who've never been here, flown here before, what happens when that happens. And there are a lot of pilots. We've seen them for years and years. We're looking at Jerry Kopis, for example. He's flying that new Kong balloon. This is his 26th year. But I'm sure when Jerry showed up the first time, probably didn't want to really believe what he was seeing when the way the weather changes so quickly around here.
Yep.
So, but I got another one here. And this is actually someone that I know. Nan and
know somebody?
Nan and Pap Gorenflow down in Florida are watching in Miami. And Pap Gorenflow is Daryl Gorenflow. He was my crew chief in one of my first balloons. He got the name affectionately Wrong Way from the old Gilligan's Island show. Because he always go the wrong way when we were flying.
Oh, yeah?
Oh, yeah. So
how do you do that?
I don't know. We could never figure it out. But good morning down there in Miami, Nan and Pap Gorenflow. Thanks for tuning in for it with us.
Well, you get those light and variable days here, and it's really easy to have balloons basically at the same altitude
going
the other directions.
Yes.
Yeah, and you kind of wonder what the heck that is. So
that's what makes Albuquerque so interesting and fun to fly. And that's what some pilots don't really realize when they come here and they actually experience it. When you experience the Albuquerque box, it's just an amazing thing. So I remember years ago I was flying on the west side, and I came in for an approach, and the gentleman was in his backyard, and he said, land here, and I landed in his backyard. I changed out passengers, and he jokingly said, come back anytime. So I went north, popped up real high, came south, and I landed in his backyard again.
Yeah.
He brought coffee out that
20
time.
or 30 minutes.
Yeah,
well, good. He had time to get it made.
Yes, he did. He
did.
It was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
So. Well, we're seeing more burners going off out there, and a little bit more activity.
We're
we're
getting the word that we're going to move forward with our opening ceremonies and our national anthem here in just a few minutes from now. And so I don't see a fan working on the Fiesta balloon yet, so I think we're going to do the national anthem, and we'll fire off the burners with that as a candlestick.
Yep.
I think is going to be our game plan this morning.
And that's an amazing thing they've done the last few years, right?
It is.
When the national anthem ends and they've encouraged all of the pilots that have rigged their systems up to let those burners go. Wow, that's just gives you goosebumps when you see that.
And our Chile Express flyover should
Yes.
still happen as well.
Yes.
So we will apparently not be putting a balloon up with the colors. We'll have our national anthem, we'll have our burns, and we'll have our flyover.
Right.
Sure, we've got a couple of minutes before we get to the national anthem. Let's quickly go to Diane.
Nick. Sister's coming out of the car, too.
I don't make many mistakes, but I made a big mistake. This is Nicholas. Hi, Nicholas.
Hello.
I'm talking to him like a little boy because I have a son like Nicholas. And this I thought was Nicholas's wife.
Hi.
No, it's his mother.
Yep.
Welcome
Thank
to the
you.
Fiesta. Folks from Albuquerque. Everybody's from Albuquerque. And why I stopped to see these folks, because Nicholas, what did you do here? Mom, what did Nicholas do?
He did a wonderful thing. He's got all of these lovely colors, and we said, you want to put them all on the balloon at the same time like this? He said, yeah, it's going to be great, Mom. And we went, okay. And we saw the balloon, and it was absolutely gorgeous. He was right. He was right to make them this way. He was right to use these colors and the design.
So thank you, Mom. Mom knows everything. Nicholas, you designed your balloon and you designed your family's jackets.
Yes.
Who does that?
I wanted to be different. Everyone's crew shirt is just a picture of the balloon and a standard shirt, so I wanted it to go down with the pattern of the balloon on the sleeves.
Ladies, was it a success?
It was. Yeah. This is his sister, Michaela. Hi.
Kayla, what do you
Hello.
think of this?
Oh, I love it. And I love that he did a bunch of different styles, and he's more than happy.
T-shirts,
The
Cowboy
t-shirt.
Dream.
And then he's got different jackets,
And
and
one of the
they're
great
so
things
sweet.
that he did for his crew, other sleeve, he's got, because his crew, you're appreciated. See? Hashtag you're appreciated, because he loves his crew. He works as hard, but we love it because he's a great pilot.
What do you like about being a crew member, other than your jacket?
I mean, it's so much fun just getting to watch him pilot, because Nick is a great pilot, and so getting to see how he flies is amazing. So just getting to experience that alone is...
How long have you been piloting, Nicholas?
I will celebrate my 2 years in February.
You celebrate? Do we celebrate 2 years? I thought like 25 years, 50 years, but we celebrate 2 years.
And then I'll be a commercial pilot for a year at the end of Fiesta.
You're gonna throw.
Thank
What
you.
would you like to tell the folks out there about Albuquerque and the Balloon Fiesta?
Get here, buy flights, and have fun.
Okay, thanks. Couldn't say it any better than that, Nicholas. Back to you.
Thanks, Dan. We should also mention that Nick Abrams, who she was just talking to, he's one of our Balloon Fiesta camera
Operators,
pilots.
yes.
So later in the week, he'll be flying the camera for us on 4 days. And so we look forward to that as well. So we are now just a couple of minutes away from our national anthem. More and more of those pilots checking out their burners, making sure that they're ready to heat up the air, which will also impact the weather here just a little bit. Not as much as the sun will. So we are now just a couple of minutes away from our national anthem, our flyover. And so let's toss it down to our public address announcer, Mr. Bill Royal, for the call of our national anthem.
From the Main Street stage, and welcome to the 52nd Albuquerque International Balloon Fiesta, powered by ExxonMobil. It's almost time for the official opening ceremonies for this year's Fiesta, featuring Albuquerque's own formation flight team, Chili Flight, with their signature red and green lights and smoke coming in from the north and then again from the east to west as they circle back around. Now, the winds are a little brisk, so we'll raise the colors, but we won't actually be raising the balloons of the day first. Those would be the Fiesta balloons and the ExxonMobil Enchanted Horizons. But right now, please welcome to sing our national anthem, a wife and mother of two who proudly leads the music at her local Sagebrush campus, Nicole Chapman.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Well,
incredible.
How about that for an opening day, huh?
We created our own thermal over the park. Did you see all that?
We did. Yeah, you could just see all the heat going up. The Chili Flight Express over there. A great national anthem here. So all the burners heading off.
Burner check is a go.
Burner check is a go. And by the way, those Chili Flight guys are going to obviously we're going to the south.
Yep.
They're going to swing around to the east, and they'll come back over the field from the east here in just a couple of minutes, and we'll pick that up as we move forward. So as we heard from Bill, we're not sending up our balloon of the day balloons right at the moment. The flag is still yellow, so we haven't called anything off yet. We're still kind of waiting, even though sunrise was a few minutes ago officially. I thought I was hearing something on the radio there to see about an update there. But it was officially sunrise just a few minutes ago, but the sun hasn't quite made it up over the mountain yet. So once we get some sunlight on the field here, we'll be able to hopefully still be able to move that flag from green to yellow. But there's Ray in the basket there.
Looks like he's getting ready.
So we just kind of, so we're just kind of continue to get things. We're still kind of officially on hold here.
Right.
But even look at these flags. These flags we're seeing right here.
Yes, right in front of us.
It wasn't 5 minutes ago. Both that American flag and that New Mexico flag were kind of hanging straight out.
Right. And if people are looking, they'll look at the top up there and see those
flags.
Yeah,
the ones up on the berm.
But people don't really realize that's up on a hill, and this is kind of in a bowl down here. So,
and here they come around again.
Yes. Here come
the Chili Flight coming back around the other side.
They have to have an amazing view from up there with all that.
And these are volunteer pilots, maintain their own planes. They keep these up, and they love doing this, and they just come out and do it.
Again,
for
more
free.
volunteers, right?
Yeah, exactly. There's the smoke is the second pass.
Yep.
Home-built RV7s. Yeah, there's the split. Good thing we're watching it on our cameras because the building's in the way of our in-person view.
Here they come.
Yeah.
Oh, they're going to do it
again. Look at there.
Here we go.
What a great morning here.
Quite a coordinated event.
Yeah.
Looking fabulous. Wow. Let's get some fabric going here. Let's let these winds calm down and let people see what the real show's all about.
So again, we're just kind of hanging loose here and waiting for that sun to pop over the mountain, see if it does continue to calm the winds on the field. For those of you who have just joined us, thanks for joining us. Thanks for being with us. We'll be here all 14 sessions. Our flag is yellow. We're waiting to just make sure that the winds definitely do calm down as they should.
You know, Brad Tiedemeyer, the chief of weather, he and his team put in thankless hours to make sure that they give all the proper information to the pilots and the crews that are out there. Actually, I was talking with him yesterday evening before they everyone went to bed. He told me he was going to bed at 7 o'clock because 3 a.m. comes really early. So he's out here playing with weather balloons at 3 in the morning when most people are on their way to the park. So he and his crew put in a lot of hours during these 10 days, and we're very thankful for what they do. I know that Fiesta is, and we want to make sure that everybody has a safe and fun experience.
And quite a team he puts together as well. Don Day is joining us this year, filling in for Randy Lefevre. Couldn't be with us this week. Don does a lot of weather work for gas balloon pilots. Of course, last year we had the 66th Gordon Bennett Aeronautique here, and all those balloons. The Gordon Bennett was just a couple of weeks ago over in Europe because it moves from country to country based on the winner 2 years previously.
Correct.
So 2 years ago, it was Germany who won. They got to host it this year. France won it here last year, so they'll be in France next year. And move on from there. But Don does a lot of weather for those gas balloons. And, you know, when you're flying a gas balloon, a lot of times it's really the meteorologist that's flying the balloon. He says, go to this altitude, and you're going to go this direction at this speed. And so the pilot just puts the balloon there. But the real steering, if you will, is all done by the meteorologists, and they're definitely the unsung heroes of gas balloon
and if anybody
flights.
watched this year's, it was an amazing finish.
Yes.
What a finish. I mean, I know we have a ton of gas aficionados out there, but just watching it was just amazing.
And to trust your meteorologist to
Over
say,
the ocean.
okay, you want me to go to this altitude and fly out over this water?
Yes.
And go out here because it's going to turn around when I change? I'm
Right.
trusting you. And they did. And right smack dab down
I
there.
had several people commenting, well, someone's going to get wet. And they never did. They all landed on the land. It was amazing.
I know.
It was amazing.
I was thinking, I would not be doing that.
Yeah, right.
I would not be doing that.
Hey, we have Diane with some more folks down there on the field. So, Diane?
You can't believe it. You can't believe what we find here at Balloon Fiesta. I am having so much fun meeting the folks. And that's partly why people come to Fiesta. Of course, they want to see the beautiful balloons, the balloon glow, but also the people. They're very entertaining, like Chris here from Washington State.
Yep.
Now, they don't know yet why we're laughing.
Yeah. It's my 50th year at Fiesta, and I wear a kilt all the time to Fiesta.
That's right. We're going to show you.
Because I wear the kilt all the time. And I'm matching our balloon.
What attracted me to Chris was, I said, what is he wearing? A kilt. Now, a kilt every day.
Every day.
Why in the world do you do that, Chris?
Because I used to be really shy, so it forces people to talk to me, and I have to have conversations, so that's why I wear it every day. And it's comfortable.
Why do you think I came to talk to you?
That's what I'm thinking. I was like, okay, it's good.
Because you got the kilt on.
Right, exactly.
And you're part of the Peanuts Forever?
We are part of the Peanuts Forever, part of their crew, and so they fly Dawn Patrol normally. So we're a Dawn Patrol balloon. So yeah, we're part of our pilot. This is one of his
balloon. And you match.
I do match the balloon.
Right
That's
here.
one reason I did the outfit like this today.
Well, thank you. And we're going to show the kilt along with my legs one more time. And we're going to bring in Ron, who is the pilot of Peanuts Forever. And you are famous, not just because of Peanuts and the Peanuts Forever balloon, because you are the pilot of the first Dawn Patrol here in Albuquerque. Tell me what year and tell me about that.
It's 78 and
1978.
1978, yeah. And I was doing it with Ken O'Connor, a fellow pilot from California, and he was actually the one that kind of pushed to actually get me to complete the night lights. I'd been doing investigation of the requirements, and he was the one that pushed and said, let's get it done.
Tell the folks out there who don't know what in the world is Dawn Patrol that you've been doing since 1978.
We're taking off before sunrise in the dark. Hopefully we're far enough before sunrise that it's dark, and flying then into the sunrise. And we have to have the lights on the balloon or hanging below the balloon so that any other aircraft that might be flying in the area can keep track of us with the strobe light. Although when we fire the burner, the balloon kind of lights up, and it's the obvious thing to watch at that point.
It's like a flying balloon glow.
Yes, it is. And that's the kind of balloon glow that we like to do is in an actual flight, Dawn Patrol.
And the purpose of Dawn Patrol, I know it's in the name, but tell me what the purpose of Dawn Patrol is.
Well, during the briefings for the rest of the pilots, they like to say that we're checking out the winds for them to show them what it's like, but we just enjoy it. I mean, to go up before the sun comes up and watch the sunrise coming over the Sandias as we're flying, it's special. So that's why we do it.
You're really supposed to be helping the pilots learn about the flights, but you do it because it's just magical.
Yeah, that's the side effect, is they get to see what the winds are doing before they take off.
And you can't land, though, until the sun rises, right? So you're up there for quite a while.
Yeah, there have been a couple of times that we've managed to come down, but only because we were over a very large field that we had mapped out previously, and we knew, there was nothing around it. It was just open sagebrush. But normally, you do not try to come down until really close to sunrise, at least, when you can see obstacles that are on the ground.
But it's safe for you so far since 1978.
Yes.
Well, congratulations. Thanks for
you.
doing your service to the Albuquerque International Balloon Fiesta.
We enjoy it.
Thank you, Ron. Appreciate you. Thanks. Back to you on the rooftop.
Thanks, Diane. And encouraging signs up here on the field, on the roof, and on the field as well. We just heard Henry Rosenbaum tell the pilots we're still on hold. He hasn't given up on it yet, doesn't plan on stretching this out forever. But we continually see signs of winds calming down. We just watched a pie ball. That's one of those. We actually saw the one go off from the official weather briefing at pilots briefing.
Correct.
Pilots continue to send those off, as do our weather team, as they're checking the winds at altitude. And we're seeing them go not too fast, and they're making a turn out towards the northwest. We saw just a few moments ago on the screen the second Fiesta balloon being laid out. So
and again, if you look at the flags on the field,
look at them. Yeah, see, they're calming right down.
Yep.
So we're watching the ones at altitude, those couple 100 feet above the ground yet. We have to be careful of those.
Absolutely.
And I just felt the little chill that always happens here. It's kind of before the sun hits you. That's when it's always the coldest.
Right.
And I just felt that chill just as we.
Yeah, you mentioned it when Diana was doing.
When Diana was talking, I said, it's all of a sudden I just felt the temperature
There's a great
drop.
shot of the flags.
Yeah.
I'm assuming that's on the north end of the field. It looks like.
Yeah, I think it is. But those are the ones that were standing out when we looked at them a half an hour, 45 minutes ago.
Right.
So, yep. But there's some cheering going on there. Of course, that could be for somebody's birthday, for all that matter. You know, this is the place, when you bring this many people together, you got birthdays. There's always people getting married here. There's always people getting engaged here. The things that happen at Balloon Fiesta.
Yes, absolutely. In fact, my oldest son is a Fiesta baby.
What does that mean?
Well, he was born during the Balloon Fiesta. So.
Oh, wow.
Although I've attended all 52, there was
on the field?
No, it wasn't born on the field. He was born at the Women's Hospital down the road. But the amazing thing is that after he was born, we took him up on the rooftop.
Yeah.
And they had some windows, and we were able to watch the balloons fly towards us.
Oh, nice.
It was one of the only couple days that I actually missed. So I know Mrs. Maes was happy I was with her rather than out here at the field. Right?
Yeah. Does your son tell the story about that?
I don't think he remembers it much. You know, he was.
Yeah.
But yeah, no,
he's. But you probably have pictures,
yes,
right?
Yes, and he's come out with us before. So.
Yeah. So right here. Let's. We haven't checked in with folks here in a little bit. Hey, there's Aurora, Colorado, and looks like someone just got on their flight coming this way. Good evening from Malaysia as well. And let's see.
Well, in the previous interview that Diane had, that pilot had been flying since 1978, and I think some congratulations are in order.
Oh,
not
definitely.
Only for him, but this is the 50th Fiesta for one Mr. Tarp Head, longtime pilot coming out to Albuquerque.
Yeah. Oh, and a shout out to our RV South Lot navigators, other people chiming in on the Gordon Bennett that we were just talking about.
Right.
And so, yes, we are still waiting for the. In fact, now the sun just broke over the top of the mountains. Yep,
yes.
Just crested. So we're going to start seeing some change to the weather here, and I'm going to predict it's going to be good.
I think it is too. After watching that last pie ball go off to the west,
I think we're going to be okay here.
Northwest, yes, I think it's going to turn out to be one of those glorious mornings.
Hang with us a few more minutes, and while they're continuing to work on the Fiesta balloons. And so let's.
I hear we have some royalty from the north of us. Diane, you have someone from up in Colorado with you visiting out on the field?
Oh, geez, am I having fun or what? Now, last time we showed you a gentleman, Chris from Washington State, in a kilt. Now we have Mrs. Colorado America wearing a beautiful sash. We see all kinds. Last time we gave you Chris, now we're giving you Christina.
Hi, nice to meet you. Good morning.
Good morning.
What a beautiful morning this is. Everybody's up in a good mood. It's been a wonderful start to the International Balloon Fiesta.
Mrs. Colorado America, you were just at the Mrs. America pageant.
Yes, I was first runner-up for Mrs. American. I'm very happy to represent Colorado and especially the married women of America. So this was such a special experience and I loved it so much.
What does Mrs. America mean? What does it signify?
So the motto is family first. We are married women. Most of us have children, and it's how we balance life, marriage, and being the most we can for our communities.
Has you been here before, Mrs. Colorado, America, Christina, to the Balloon Fiesta?
This is the first time I've been to New Mexico. So
we're neighbors, Christina. We're neighbors.
Know, and I'm so glad to be here. I was invited by Mrs. New Mexico American, Samantha, and we've had a blast. We were here 2 days ago. We did a balloon flight. And then yesterday we were in Santa Fe. We had a wonderful time, and now here for the opening ceremony.
Tell people about the balloon flight.
It was such beautiful weather. The Sandia Mountains really lit up with the sun behind us like it is right now. And everybody was so kind. So we had a great time. New Mexico, and especially Albuquerque, is so pretty.
And for folks who've never been on a balloon ride before, how would you describe it?
It's like you're flying, you're gliding through the air. Really, it's so graceful, so smooth. I had the most wonderful time.
We're glad that you had that. And you were part of the opening ceremonies this morning?
Yes, it was really nice to be out here. It was so dark. It was like pitch dark. There were people on the ground. You have to watch out if you're going to step on anybody. But it was such a nice feeling, great energy, such a positive time. And I love that we're bringing people together to celebrate something so beautiful.
You know, my first time here, it was like a state fair or carnival in reverse, because at a state fair you go during the day and then it all lights up at night with all the carnival rides, the midway. But here, as you said, you come at night and it's all dark with all the lights.
Yes,
all the excitement.
It is
and then the
so
sun
exciting.
And right now, we've got the beautiful sun rising right over the Sandias right now, right on the field.
It is a beautiful morning, and it's quite warm. It is quite warm. Everybody told me to bundle up. I'm like ready to take this off. It is so warm.
Well, everybody can see your beautiful sash since we're not bundled up this morning. Christina, what a delight. Congratulations to you, and thanks for representing the married women of America.
Thank you.
Back to you. Thank you.
Thanks, Diane.
Well, we got some great news from Balloonmeister Henry Rosenbaum.
Yeah, you were going to tell Diane she's not going to get a sash.
Oh, yeah, she's not allowed to get one of those Miss Balloon Fiesta Park sashes, so.
Yeah, but now to that great news.
Yeah,
now to that great news, and you can see it. There's the fan. It started. The green flag is going up, and we are about to head off to launch. In fact, Henry's calling me right now, so you get to talk.
Right. Henry had said on the radio that they are going to go green here in a second, so you'll see that flag, if we can get a picture of that when it goes up. And they are going to do one wave and one wave only is what he said. And they are going to not allow any statics at this time, but that could change. So it's all green and go for the first day of the 52nd International Balloon Fiesta, live from Balloon Fiesta Park, sponsored by ExxonMobil. So here we go. We're getting ready to change that flag over, and you're going to hear it. You're going to hear a big cheer. So we're going for the state question, is it red or is it green? And I think that today we're going to go with green. So it should be a wonderful, here's the crowd going. They're hearing it, and it's going on right now, and we're going to start seeing some fire and some fabric on Fiesta Field, which is fantastic.
All right, yeah, I just talked with Henry, and we are indeed moving forward with our launch this morning.
There goes the yellow flag's going down right now.
Right, as they change that, we've got air going into both Fiesta balloons. And the ExxonMobil balloon is also getting air in. As soon as they get those standing up, the other balloons can be setting up right now.
Yep.
We're going to do this in one wave.
That's what I mentioned.
And so we're going to just get right through this. And then we may have some static balloons stand up at the end of that, but we're going to move forward with this and get this show in the air.
In the air, not on the road.
Not on the road.
The crews will get
air.
on the road, but the balloons will get in the air. And just wait for the crowd here, because they're going to go crazy when this green flag goes up.
Yep.
Which is going to be quite amazing.
So while we're watching for that flag to go up, there's our stage camera on that scissor lift. Yep. That's the Main Street stage.
We see another pieball going over the field here, nice and slow to the north and the west. And you just want enough wind to get you out of here. There's nothing like a day at Fiesta where there's no wind, because when you're around 500 of your closest friends.
Especially for those of you who are sitting here on the ground, you're waiting for that guy that's in the air to clear the airspace.
Right, and we got lots of cold air going in now. I also see Mr. I think Tristan McLean in the Exxon.
Yep, yep. Balloon Fiesta being powered by ExxonMobil.
Correct.
This year, next year.
There's the flag, there's the crowd.
There's the green flag, yep. And we hear the cheer all the way down here. So next year, ExxonMobil will be the title sponsor. So we'll be the ExxonMobil Albuquerque International Balloon Fiesta.
Right.
So
there's some ride balloons there getting ready.
Yep.
Just to the north of us.
Well, we saw earlier, or in fact all through the morning, we saw crews and pilots getting things hooked up. Of course, we saw the burner check with the national anthem earlier. And so they're all ready. They're all anxious as well. And so it's like, let's get moving here. Turn on the fan, fill the balloon up with cold air. We don't blow up balloons. No, we inflate them, fill them full of cold air, and then once they're fully packed, cold packed we call it, once they have about as much cold air as we can actually get in them, that's when they light the burners up, heat the air inside, it becomes less dense, and the balloon stands up. So again, the Fiesta balloon with the turquoise on it, Fiesta Gold, that's the one that was built here during the 50th Balloon Fiesta. Judy Nakamura is going to be flying that, and her passenger should be the governor of New Mexico. The basically all yellow Fiesta balloon. Oh, and there's a shot, because on that 50th, those are the original 13
balloons, yes,
that were here in 1972. But the original Fiesta balloon, that's actually still the third one or so. The one that's all yellow. Ray Bear's going to fly that, and we're going to put our balloon camera in that balloon. And then Tristan McLean with ExxonMobil will be going out as well. That was really something to build that balloon here and to watch that balloon being sung.
And it was kind of highly secretive, remember?
Yeah, no one would tell you what it was going on.
No, and you really couldn't tell.
You knew something was happening, but yeah, you didn't know what it was.
And for people that don't know out there, I'm sure it's been talked about many times on this show, but when they build a balloon, they actually use the sewing machine, right?
Multiples.
Yeah, and the person's right in the corner to sit over there and sewing that thing up. It's quite amazing. And a lot of times there are actually people out here on Fiesta Field that had homemade balloons, just like we saw the homemade planes that flew over.
Yes.
They have homemade balloons.
Yes, they do.
That are experimental, but they make them in their garage. And some people kind of look at me crazy sometimes when we talk about that.
That's the balloon that I fly throughout the year is a homemade or an experimental balloon. In fact, that's their trailer that we see right there down there by that flag.
Yep.
That's the trailer of the balloon. And so when we see those, and notice that they all have laid out so that they go off to the north. Normally we have that drainage wind that we're talking about. Take a look over there. Posing for pictures here while we're doing stuff. Yeah. So yeah,
I think he's trying to catch his own natural.
Yeah. Well, I always tell him we need a couple of posed pictures. You know, we need a couple of posed pictures, and then of course we get the candid ones as well. Don Henderson, our team lead for our official photographers. His wife Maria is joining us on the Balloon Fiesta live stage as well. But what I was trying to get a point, normally we lay out because the drainage wind takes us to the south.
So it's normally the south to the north, and now today it's the north to the south.
But we're laid out the opposite way this year, so you're not, so what happens is the north camera shot gets the shot of all the tops where we normally have that shot from our end here. Much bigger balloons. The Rainbow Riders group, under the direction of what was Scotty Appleman, and now, of course, his wife Heather and the rest of their outstanding team. They've got 38 ride balloons out here.
Amazing.
And they'll fly 300 or so people every morning during Fiesta. So I think we're about to see some hot air go into the Fiesta balloons.
Yep.
Actually, looks like one of the Sundance ride balloons, part of the team there, is already putting some heat in. Kind of see it in the middle of the picture starting to stand up.
And as I said earlier, this is all at pilot's discretion. So, the ride balloons are the ride balloons, but then you have your private pilots and even some commercial pilots out there that they decide on their own whether they feel that their capabilities are with what's going on around them.
And there's the heat. We told you it was coming.
Yep. That's Ray Bear.
That's Ray Bear. He's on the board of directors. Longtime pilot here and very active in the Albuquerque balloon community.
There's the shut off of the fan.
Yep. You leave that fan running for your first couple of blasts just to kind of make sure that the hot air gets all the way out there. But then at some point it's like, okay, there's enough air in there now. I just need to let the burner go. stand the balloon up. Just keep pointing the heat in there, heating it up. Guys on the side there. I think that's his son John, right there on the throat there, with his back to us.
Right.
That's what it looks like to stand a balloon out.
In wind.
Yeah.
And you notice the scoop there. People don't really understand what the scoop is all about sometimes. But that actually allows the air to inflate the balloon as we're inflating it and stabilize it. And when you're landing, if you look on the side of the balloon there, it's like a little darker 3-dot colors. Those are turning vents that allow the balloon to turn. And the reason for that is as you're coming in, if you had a windier landing, you would want the exact opposite of what you have here. You would want the scoop to turn the other direction, so when you hit the ground, no air can get into it and you can deflate it.
Exactly.
Yes.
Yeah. Exactly.
And when you fly different
when
you fly different balloons all the time for different people, it's kind of a shock sometimes when you want to reach for one of those turning vents and you realize, well, wait a minute, there's not a turning vent to this balloon.
It doesn't, and we'll talk about we'll point some of that out. It's kind of like there are different manufacturers and everyone has their own idea. So some balloons make a skirt, some make a scoop that we just talked about there. All right, before we get the balloons of the day in the air, let's go back down to the field and Diane Kinderwater. Diane?
For those of you who thought the balloons were the biggest show, meet Martine and Alana, the Headless Horseman, and the Bumblebee. People aren't looking at the balloons, they're looking at the Headless Horseman and the Bee. They're from Albuquerque, and what is this all about, Martine?
Well, I decided to come down here on a motorcycle, enjoy the festivities over here. I come down here every year. It's amazing. It's beautiful.
Can we go like this?
What's that?
No.
That's my visor. Yeah. Okay. I can open it a little bit more. There we go. Can you hear me now better?
What the heck is this? You do this every year?
Oh yeah. Well, I
try to common. Every year it's common.
Yeah, I try to dress up every year, but I've only been doing it for past 2 years? Yeah. But yeah, we like to come out here, have fun. Sometimes people stop us for pictures. We say hi. We try to, lighten the mood for everyone. Everything over here is really, really fun. So it's just something that you cannot miss every year. You just have to come down here. It's so amazing, so fun.
You're right. You're from Albuquerque. You don't get tired of this.
Oh, no.
And you're part of the show, Martine. You're part of the show, Alana, right? You take place. You're not a pilot. You're not a crew member, but you are the Headless Horseman and the Bumblebee. Why do you do it?
I just like seeing kids happy. I just like making them happy and seeing them see something they've never seen before.
Thank you. And you take, what is this, a GoPro?
Yeah, it's a GoPro. Yeah, it's a GoPro camera, so that whenever I'm riding the motorcycle, I get to see everything that I can see. And that right there, that one that she has, the big pole, that's a 360 camera, so she can see all around. So everywhere that we go, everything gets recorded. It's really, really great memories all around.
Okay, I'm going to step aside. I'm going to have you wave and throw a kiss to our audience.
Oh,
that's nice.
Yeah, thanks, Diane.
So Diane's even finding people from Sleepy Hollow now.
Yeah. So more balloons are standing up. We should be launching our balloons of the day, the 2 Fiesta balloons and the ExxonMobil balloon. We're seeing our Rainbow Riders balloons. Also, Rainbow Riders, while they have a whole lot of their own balloons in order to be able to continue their ride operations, they also contract with some other folks. That's the Sundance balloons and the 96.7 balloon as well. So when we see kind of those, the whole line of those, we'll see how much bigger those balloons are than our normal sport balloons.
Correct.
Kind of back to that, different manufacturers, but also in different sizes.
Well, and the sizes that most people, when I was here in Albuquerque and did a lot of ballooning, I would be invited to schools and talk to kids about balloons, and they have a million questions about balloons.
Yep.
One of them about the size, and it gives them an idea. For example, if you were looking at the Fiesta balloon. Like both of those are
either of those, right?
What size are those?
They're 90,000 cubic feet.
So to put that in perspective for our people out there, you could fit.
How big is 90,000 cubic feet?
You can actually fit 90,000 regulation basketballs.
Wow.
Inside of that envelope when that envelope is fully inflated.
So what you're saying is a basketball is about a cubic foot.
Correct. Correct.
Which means when you get to those 220 or those 300,000 cubic foot balloons,
there's probably not that many basketballs in the state of New Mexico.
Probably not.
So,
but it would take 300,000 of
yes,
or depending on the size.
300,000. It's amazing.
Yeah. Yeah.
And even more than that, once you fly in that thing and they fold that all back down into a bag, and you think you've been flying. And there goes the Sundance balloon, our first balloon off with the day.
First one out. I heard a cheer. And
yes.
I said, that means somebody's going.
I looked right up and saw it going. Yeah.
That means somebody's going. And I was thinking we should be launching the Fiesta balloons first, but they're on the wrong side of the wind.
Correct.
They're on the wrong side of the wind, of the field for the wind. So we're going to have to launch those ride balloons off just because of the way the wind is going.
I believe that Sundance balloon is probably the furthest north of that grouping that was there.
Group. Yes, exactly. Exactly. On the north end, you always take the ones that are downwind out of the way.
And
so, but now that we've said that, Tristan is getting ExxonMobil in the air as well.
Well, of course he is, and rightfully so.
So when they built that balloon, they built it obviously already having been the presenting sponsor here, and they had a naming contest for that balloon among all of their employees. They did a big reveal, et cetera, for all of that. And I believe it's Enchanted Horizons is the name that was chosen for that balloon. And you talked about the turning vent where we're seeing the bottom of this. There's the skirt on the bottom. You see how much bigger that basket is on that one. But if we get ExxonMobil back up, you'll see that he's using that turning vent, which when you talked about when it lands, but when it's in the air, you want it to rotate so that you see ExxonMobil no matter what angle you're looking at. And there goes the Fiesta balloon, and there we go. We are now airborne with our balloon camera.
We are flying.
We are flying. Oh, the
new New Mexico State balloon from our friends down in Las Cruces.
And so we're airborne with Ray Bear in our balloon camera. So you get a chance to look and see. You can see the different sizes as you look back at that line of Rainbow Rider balloons.
Right.
You see the different sizes. You see how they're all kind of lined up there. You see balloons off on the left that are still putting some cold air in. Those are the ones more towards the south end of the field. And Ray is also using a little turning vent, so they're able to kind of move that around and look back our way.
I believe we have Judy Nakamura and our governor flying away
as
right
well.
Now. Yeah.
So they'll, as they get spun around a little farther, we'll get shots of them in the air as well. So they got a little extra room there off that to be able to get them up, and they're going to the spot where there's landing spots.
Yes, out to the northwest, out to our friends in Rio Rancho.
Yeah. There's a nice look back at the field so you can see. And there's looking over.
Yeah, if we could see.
If we could see over the lip there, that would we'd see the governor and Judy, because that's the basket of the Fiesta Gold. Gold for 50, even though it has turquoise on the balloon.
Correct. And now you're starting to see other balloons starting to lay out to the south.
Yeah.
There's a for the pilots that come out here, they go through an instructional video, and they call it the three row rule.
That's a tough phrase to say.
It
does not roll off the tongue.
Right, especially at 8 in the morning.
Yeah.
So you really don't want to lay out and go cold in your balloon until the 3 rows in front of you is on.
It's a great shot of Fiesta Gold.
Yes. So we're starting to see that as it comes our way. And I'm noticing a lot of local pilots. I don't see very many people that are from out of town, but again, it's to their own discretion and their own comfort level.
So from this shot from our balloon cam, you see the one that's airborne. That's Cottywomple. That's Mike Hefner flying that. Flying it for Rainbow Riders as part of the concession. His basket is one of those wheelchair configured baskets. So there's a door on the side, you open it up, you allow a wheelchair to roll in, and then part of the side, instead of being wicker, it's going to be on the other side when the balloon turns around. Yeah, that's the balloon. If we stay on it and it gets all the way turned around, you'll see that part of that basket has got plexiglass on it so that the person in the wheelchair can actually see. When you're in the chair, you can't see over the side, so you can see out the side of the plexiglass. But that's Cottywomple and Mike Heffron.
Here it goes.
Yeah, he'll get around. And then sometimes, you only turn it part way. So we may not be able to see that plexiglass part. And frankly, he may not have that basket underneath there because you can mix and match, you know. Looks like it's there.
Yeah.
Looks like it's there. So we do this in waves, or at least in a this morning, one wave, so we don't have everybody standing up waiting to fly. So we're kind of starting right there in the middle of the field, and we'll be working our way.
Yeah, and if you watch to the west, once they clear this bowl that we're in, it becomes very stable out there.
Yep. Yeah. Look at that.
And I'm not sure if that's big.
Yeah. What a nice shot.
That big gray one to the left up there with
the far upper left.
Yeah, far upper.
That
left.
was that radio station.
Yeah, he's kind of making a little turn up there, more to the south a little bit. So there's some variability.
Well, we heard from Brad early that if you got into a certain layer there, you might get a little bit to the south. But the report back to the pilots was that it would be that things are a little slower, and that's great. There's been a lot of questions about shapes on the YouTube chat here as we watch another Rainbow Riders balloon take airborne, about whether the shapes would fly here or not. We've got about 120 special shapes registered. About 20 of them will be here only for Thursday and Friday. The other 100 or so, we'll see them fly, as Ted has talked a few times this morning, about at pilot's discretion. Some of those pilots will be flying a regular shape throughout the week and then put their special shape up on the Thursday and Friday glow days. So I can't tell you that we're going to see shapes. We probably will. Will they stand up? Will they fly? We'll have to wait and see what that particular pilot decides to do.
Correct.
And here's where we were talking about those sizes. Now,
yes.
You look at that New Mexico State balloon there, that's just taking off, and you see how much smaller that is than the balloon around right next to it. So,
correct.
Yeah.
Well,
and the turning vent to show us the logo.
Yes, yes. And being a Lobo, of course, the Aggies are going to have a smaller balloon. I'm just joking.
Hey, there's a brand new UNM balloon as well.
Yes, it's right in between there.
It's in there too. Yeah.
It's right
Oh yeah, I see it from this side. Yeah. And there's what it looks like from the balloon, looking back down at the bosque.
The bosque, right before they,
I
believe before they get to the river there. I don't think they passed it yet.
No, I don't think they have.
There you go. There are the Aggies for you down south. All you folks down in Cruces representing up in Albuquerque.
You know, that's one of the things that Scott Appleman at Rainbow Riders has done. Not only has he run this ride business where people get their bucket lists checked off, he has worked with organizations like New Mexico State, the University of New Mexico, Dos Equis, and a number of other organizations and companies to be able to put their stamp, their logo, their presence on the side of a balloon. And Scott and his team of flyers and pilots takes that airborne for us. They kind of, I don't know if it was one of the first ones, was the Indian Pueblo Cultural Center balloon, which I see standing up. It's in the line of balloons that we're looking at there. And just recently, as we said, the 2 university balloons as well. Fidelity Investments is another one out there as part of that group. And Pinnacle Propane. Here you go, flying right over the trees.
Yep. Nice and calm and stable down there at the river. So we understand that Diane, I'm almost afraid to see who you're going to have now down there on the field. But who do you got down there on the field amongst all those balloons, Diane?
How many times have you been here? Hi. I'm here with the Riva Veneta family from Albuquerque. They've been to the Fiesta 6 or 7 times, and I had to talk to these lovely young girls to tell me about the excitement of the Balloon Fiesta. What is your name, and tell me what your favorite balloon is?
My name's Jimena. My favorite balloon would probably be that one.
The one that she sees right in front of her. Tell me, how do you describe the Balloon Fiesta to your friends?
Probably really cold, really warm, very fun.
Very fun. Cold, warm, and fun. What do you like best about the Balloon Fiesta?
I really like that there's a bunch of people crowded and they love the balloons and they're so happy.
I agree with you too. I love the balloons, but I love all the people like you, right? Just as you like them, and I like you. That's why I stopped to see you, because you have an adorable smile. And what do you like about the Balloon Fiesta?
What I like about the Balloon Fiesta is all the colorfulness and all the balloons that go up. It's rather you will go up or you won't go up.
Are you?
It's an excitement. It's like a mystery to solve.
And Mom, what do you think? The community. It feels like a great big community here, doesn't it?
Absolutely.
And I bet you would not miss it.
No.
Aren't we lucky to live here in New Mexico to see the balloons?
Yes. A lot of people travel to come here.
And we just have to get out of bed.
Yeah.
Everybody, let's throw a kiss to the camera. Back to you.
Thanks, Diane. We're getting some great shots from our balloon camera view. We just saw the beach that she had been talking about all morning. Yes. And the water that we do have, the mighty Rio Grande.
She can put her toes in the mud.
Yeah, she could. But, yeah, getting a chance to just go for your own balloon ride this morning. We were talking about shapes a few minutes ago. There's a couple of them inflating off on the side, the little teddy bear balloon, and I think that's the brain on the right side.
That is the brain balloon.
Is that the brain? That's what it looked like to me.
The other thing I'm seeing down here is, since we didn't have a Krispy Kreme glow this morning, there are a tremendous amount of those people that participated. They're almost in the very back row here that are getting ready to go hot or they're already hot.
Yes.
So we'll see some of those going. J.D. Dyer from the UK, flying King and Country, flying for Heroes. It's his third year here.
Yeah, and there was just a shot of the Pinnacle balloon. Here's another one of the contracted, Ches 106. Not a radio station here, but one in another.
I believe it's Canadian. If you look at the C there on the balloon, every aircraft that's registered in the United States is registered with an N in front of it.
Right.
And every country has their own.
It's kind of like its license plate.
Correct. And back in the days, the license plates were very big. And they've kind of gotten smaller. This is a larger balloon, so you can see it very well. On most of the normal balloons, it's about the size of a door placard now.
Yeah, I remember when the numbers, you were able to move to smaller N numbers, and like you said, N is only for the United States, but the smaller ones. I kind of miss the big ones. It was a little easier to identify sometimes what that deal was.
Wow, look at all the folks in there.
Yeah.
Checking off their bucket list with Rainbow Riders.
So there's one of those banner numbers. You see the 612. We talked about 600s. The banner over on the side is in honor of Scott Appleman that we've talked about. So, yep. Let's see. Since I think we did a better job, that should be Kyle Laxton flying that balloon that we just saw, the 612 banner, one of the Rainbow Riders pilots. I see Farmers Insurance. That's Rod Baca. He's part of the Krispy Kreme glow that you've talked about.
Frankie Martinez there in the rack balloon, right next to him.
Right next to him, yeah.
Those are two local guys from here in Albuquerque. I see my old balloon over there getting inflated. It was one time called the Fluffin' Stuff, but now it's being flown by Michael Gornflow, and it's now called Airflow. And
I didn't know that was your balloon.
Yeah, it was my balloon.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Here's two more of the ones that Scott brought to us. Dos Equis, in fact, that was his favorite balloon to always fly. And right next to it, Meow Wolf, which was brought to us the first time last year.
Right.
So Damian Curson is flying Dos Equis for us this year. And Rich Kerber is flying Meow Wolf as we continue to keep an eye on Connie Wampel from our balloon camera up in the Fiesta balloon with Ray Bear.
They get that nice float to the northwest that we talked about earlier when we saw the pieballs.
And here's what it looks like if you're out there on the crown line.
Yes.
Crown line is that rope that's attached to the top center of the balloon. The guy in the striped shirt there hanging on to it, just kind of for a stabilization while they're on the ground.
So it's not rolling in the wind.
Yeah.
In that shot previously when they were on the ground, those were all three local pilots from Albuquerque that fly a ton on the west side. I think it's Sean Spiker on the right. I had Keith to catch in the middle and Bob Maes on the left. Those guys have been flying together for years out there.
Yep. Sean's flying the Krispy Kreme banner for us this year.
Yes, he is. I believe that's Sheldon, actually, Groombauer.
Looked like it, yeah.
Yes.
Looked like it.
Flying for Rainbow Riders.
Then right behind him, one of the Colorado balloons. A couple of those here.
And you see the brain.
Oh, you see the brain right through there, yeah.
Here's another Canadian. They want you to know it's not the Canadian red, but it's nice and orange.
Yeah, you see the C just going out of the picture, and there's the Indian Pueblo Cultural Center That balloon was white.
I was about to say when
they
first inflated, it was the most beautiful white thing out there, and then it got, you know what it got on it?
Adobe.
Enchantment.
Enchantment, yeah.
Yes, that's what they call when you get dirt from New Mexico on your balloon. It's called enchantment.
Enchantment, yes.
It's not dirty, it's enchantment.
No. I always thought it was just appropriate because it brings up.
Look at the viewing party down here that the
yeah.
folks are getting.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
What great shots we're bringing you from our balloon camera today. Good job up there, guys.
Absolutely.
So.
And it looks like they're. Ryan. Thanks, Ryan, for what you're doing up there. Thank your pilot too, because I'm sure Ray has a little bit to do with that.
Yeah, Ray's getting us great shots. I got a chance to finally fly with Ray about 2 or 3 months ago.
Really?
Known him for 30, 40 years. In fact, my always story that I always tell about the ring toss it was pole grab at the time. We were both coming in on the target, and we kind of do a little kiss, and we split the pole, and neither one of us got there. But that's the closest I've been to flying with Ray until I actually got a chance to get in his basket a couple months ago and go for a flight. We landed in this really great field. Turns out that all the gates were locked, and we had to carry it out.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
All that balloon knowledge, and you guys still landed behind locked gates.
Look at, there's Ray right there.
Hey.
Yeah.
Good morning, Ray.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, no, that's all right. That's all right. Just tell them we had a great shot. Yeah. So. Yeah, you watch all these guys. They go up about 300 feet. Like you said, they had to kind of get up and climb out. Yeah. As soon as they get over the bosque, they're dropping down to get in, and if not in the river, at least close to it.
Right.
And then they'll pop back up, continue on out. It's going to be a great day. There goes Meow Wolf. There goes another one of our Rainbow Riders balloons.
Yep.
That one looks like one of the newer ones.
To the bottom left there, yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
It has not been enchanted yet.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. The other thing, somebody asked the Rainbow Riders guys the other day, are all the Rainbow Riders exactly the same? And the answer is no.
No.
There are subtle differences. A lot of them look exactly the same, but there are subtle differences to many of them. Sometimes it's really hard to see unless you're really up close as well. But a number of our regular balloons are starting to inflate there as they're starting to see.
Yep.
That's one of those, you go to school on the first guys up. You watch and see how they did, what it looked like, where are we going.
Right there on the bottom right is Brad Rice flying one of the Rainbow Riders balloon. This is his 20th year, and he's the son of the treasurer, Dick Rice. Brad started flying when he was 6 years old. And his personal private balloon is Hearts of Fire because it has hearts and he shoots fire into it. And,
pretty pink and white with those hearts. Yeah.
I asked a lot of pilots before Fiesta if they could tell me who their mentor or who their idol was in ballooning. And Brad's mentor and idol happens to be Ray Bear.
Well, there you go.
An incredible teacher and instructor and a wonderful mentor. Diane, who do you have for us out there on the field?
Hi, you guys. I am here with Keith Takat, and everybody's chasing after him, and he's chasing the wind because his balloon is Catch Another Breeze. But people are chasing after you. Why is that, Keith?
Well, currently I'm leading the points in the Quad A local balloon club. Quad A stands for Albuquerque Aerostat Ascension Association. That Sid Cutter started way back in the day. And we have monthly events, and currently I'm leading the points in it, so people in the club are chasing me for first place.
Diane, tell Keith that Ted says watch his back.
And you're going to run off now because your balloon is ready to launch. Tell me about the day. Tell me about the day. Tell me about how it is to be a pilot here at Balloon Fiesta.
It's always exciting. The crowds are phenomenal. It's fun to fly here, and we're just excited to be part of it every year.
How many years have you been flying, Keith?
This will be my 23rd year at Fiesta.
Are they all the same, or are they different?
No, every flight's different. Every year is a little different, and every flight's different. So we're doing the 3-row rule. So if you look downwind, they're launching those, and my balloon is sitting over here, and we're fully inflated, waiting to go here. So as soon as these few balloons go, I'm gonna have to run and and get mine hot and ready to take a
What
flight.
if I hold on to you? The balloon can't go without
I'll
you.
still
You're
have
the
to go.
pilot. You're still gonna have to go. How do you find your crew here at Albuquerque?
The crew finds me, actually, and we'll send them a glimpse, but they know what my balloon looks like. A lot of balloons, there's multiples out there that look the same, so it's a good idea for them to have some form of communication. We also have radios on board that we can talk to them. Once we land, if the radios aren't working, then we can use our cell phones. So,
And what do you tell your friends about this fiesta?
come out and enjoy it. There's a lot of events this year, and it's always a fun time.
And catch Keith, because he's the leader. He's the leader.
All right.
Appreciate it.
Thank
Good
you.
luck to you. Have a safe flight.
Okay,
Thank you.
thanks.
Back to you in the studio.
Thank you, dear. Be safe.
Thanks, Diane. Well, we saw a shot a second ago while Diane was talking to Keith of the white X's you were talking about.
Yep, one of those X's out there.
And as a pilot, you really want to try and land there, but sometimes you just can't get in there, and you don't want to
That was a
really
little
disappoint.
tight spot.
Yeah, that was a pretty
That was
tight
a
spot.
tight spot today, but always good to see those.
Absolutely.
So
and as a pilot and as other pilots out here, it's wonderful to see that, because it makes you feel reassured that you have friends in the area.
Yes.
So.
Because if you think about it, we don't, as aircraft, we don't fly from airport to airport. We fly from some open field to somebody else's open field. And we probably don't own either of those.
No.
So we're always taking off or landing on someone else's property, and we're always appreciative of the ability to do that. And when we have friendly folks, that makes it even better. So we were talking about different shapes and sizes of balloons and things like that. Here's our first shot of a racer balloon off on the right-hand side with the
little Easter egg look to it.
Yeah.
Like a Fabergé egg.
Yeah, and the Dunkin' Donut banner on the side. That's going to be Kelly Cook flying that. And the whole idea of these, I remember, it was to be more competitive because of that shape. When you go up fast or you come down fast, there's not as much wind resistance, so it doesn't attempt to collapse things off the top. So the guys that are flying the competition seriously, they always want to. Yeah. We need to kill the other audio there. Thanks. It's more cylindrical. It's more cylindrical. It doesn't collapse on there, and so you can maneuver. It's kind of like driving the sports car versus driving the
right, the old family truckster, right?
Yeah. So typically a little bit smaller too, so you don't necessarily fly as many people in it. But we'll see a lot of those come competition days, Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday throughout the week.
Help you get into tight spaces and make some really sometimes phenomenal terminal descents.
Yeah.
That most people would look at and maybe get their stomach sick.
Yeah,
But yeah.
Hey, Diane's continuing to do a great job out there on the field and finding a number of interesting people out there. So take it away again, Diane.
Wave to the camera. What a way to ride around Fiesta. A lot of us just on two legs, but these kids know how to do it. Wave to the camera, everybody. We've got Bonnie and her family from Albuquerque. Bonnie, what a way to go. I mean, you're not having to carry, well, Dad has to carry one.
Dad has one, but I'm hands-free.
How wonderful is this? What a great idea.
Thank you.
You have your mother here from Tampa. Your first time here at Fiesta. Describe it. I mean, we can see it ourselves, but say it in your words.
Oh, it's amazing. It's unbelievable to see all the balloons and the people. It's just amazing.
Is it what you expected, or what did you expect?
Oh, it's more than I could have expected. We're going up tomorrow in a balloon, so it'll be great. We're excited.
Describe this to everybody.
They're just the
sheer awesomeness of how big they are up front, up close. Just amazing. And the sounds of the tanks going off.
Isn't it wonderful that you can be right a part of it? You're not behind any rope. You're not in any stands. You're right a part of this balloon.
Exactly. So close. Right, and they let you get so close to experience. It's an awesome.
It is. It's amazing.
And it's pretty convenient with the kids in this little cart, huh? Well, thank you. Have a wonderful Fiesta. Have a wonderful, safe ride tomorrow. Okay, kids, wave, wave.
that's awesome just to see the smiles on people's faces. That's
Isn't
really
it?
one of the reasons I did this as a pilot for all those years.
Yeah.
It gives you that warm, fuzzy feeling.
So while Diane was talking, I did see a shot of Freddie the Fox, who's now actually up in the air already. Kelly has got, there it is right there.
Yep.
And just before that shot, we saw the Duncan racer that we were seeing up in the air as well. And I thought I saw, when we were looking at Freddie on the ground, I thought I saw Frankenstein in there. Hey, and there goes the brain.
Yeah, the
we
brain's
can pick up the
taken
brain
off.
here.
There
it is. That's a new special shape here for us this year. And so, yeah, we are definitely a little slower start here maybe, but we are definitely getting it up and running now. Colin Graham flying intelligent design, even though we're going to call it the brain.
The brain, yes.
It's the brain. It's the brain.
Well, and I see a clown coming up over here on the left-hand side. It's a big red nose. And there's a shot. There's a shot from our camera, looking on the west
back,
side.
yeah,
looking back, and all that open land.
Yeah,
that's a welcome sight to a lot of pilots as they, fly out that way.
Yeah, make your flight over the river, drop in if you can and not, and then kind of get on the other side there as well. So I'm going to change this channel here. We're trying to monitor as many different things as we can, but now we've got a balloon crew on one of these. I don't need to hear that balloon crew.
No.
So
there, I think that's Barbara or Peter.
Oh yes, with the Roadrunner and Coyote. Yep. Peter's the primary pilot. Barbara is the additional pilot. And the Roadrunner Coyote balloon, Sid built one of those back in 1973. Sid Cutter, the founder of Balloon Fiesta.
I remember it flying over Albuquerque. That was one of my favorite balloons as a child.
And I just got some fabulous pictures from a guy who was stationed on Kirtland Air Force Base in 1973. And in 1973, we took off from the state fairgrounds, which is pretty close to the base.
Yes.
And took off from there and landed on the base. And so he's there at his housing, and he's got all these great pictures, and he sent me some really cool pictures of the Roadrunner Coyote balloon from 1973. Barbara Fricke made that balloon, one of those experimentals we've talked about, and unveiled that at the 50th Balloon Fiesta.
At Coronado Center.
And on that day, you may remember, we did a Friday flight like we do Albuquerque a lot. We flew from Coronado Center. And what was really fitting that day is most of the balloons that took off from Coronado, we launched 13, representing the original 13. Most of them made it back here to the field.
Amazing.
So it was just a really nice transition type of thing to fly from where it started to where we are today. But Barbara's made that one. She's obviously, Barbara and/or Peter is flying that one today. They never tell me who's flying which day, so we'll just
make it a surprise.
Yeah, it's one of the two. Barbara's also on the board of directors.
All right, I hear that Diane is she's been recruited to be a crew member. Is that correct, Diane? Are you crewing now or not doing TV?
Yeah. Hey, finally I found some people who cannot talk to me. Anthony and Kevin. Wait, we're following them. Anthony and Kevin from Albuquerque are crewing, and they're trying to keep this balloon from swaying. What's the name of your balloon?
It's called the Captain.
The Captain. So they got a tough job here. Can you talk now?
Yeah, I can talk a little. I've been doing this for 25 years with the same balloonist. In fact, I crewed with his father as well. So, yeah, we have a great time out here.
It looks like you're, wrangling a balloon? What are you doing here with your cowboy hat?
There's a rodeo going on.
Tell me about
that. It's 2024. We got to control these guys. So we got to rodeo them up and lasso them up sometimes.
What's going on with that balloon right now with the light breeze?
It's kind of going back and forth a little bit, but not too bad. Just kind of got to read the weather. Got to read the way it's swaying back and forth.
You really look like, it looks like you are in a rodeo, huh? You got a big steer here. Hold on to it.
Yeah. No, we're good. Everything is good. I mean, we've got the green flag to fly today, so.
If you ain't out here, you got to get out here. You got all week. Come out here. It's a sight to see. If you ain't never seen it before, get on out here and get out here.
Go, Rodeo.
Come on, rodeo.
Now take off your hat. Thanks, guys. Thank you. Thank you. It's fun out here.
Well, I'm sure that Matt Hurst, who's actually the pilot of that balloon, would appreciate that she joined the crew.
There you go. And that his crew can multitask.
Yes.
Work the crown line.
And rodeo and talk to Diane.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
What a great great opportunity to be able to see that and to be able to talk with them as well. Yep. So we're still getting. In fact, I think we have most of our ride balloons off now. We're into that Krispy Kreme.
There's a great shot right there that shows you the size difference
of
those balloons.
Yes.
It's almost like the larger Arizona Superstar balloon in the back. That's a Rainbow Rider could just eat that balloon from the UK.
In fact, that UK looks like it might be a 77 or 77,000 cubic foot.
Right.
And the Arizona one is probably 220.
Correct.
1,000 cubic feet. So, yeah, you could put a couple of those in there. You know, we actually did that one year.
Yes.
Not during Fiesta.
No.
But we took a small balloon and inflated it inside a large balloon and then took off with the large balloon. So we're flying a balloon inside a balloon. Our former executive director here just retired and has actually just been filling in as an interim. He was the one inside the balloon flying that. And so there's a great video out there on YouTube about that that's good. So I think I just saw Sean Spiker. You mentioned him earlier.
Yes.
And that looks like Cameron Wall's balloon right there.
Yeah, that's Cameron, and I think Keith, who Diane just interviewed a second ago, is taking up to the right there.
Right off the right, yeah.
He's definitely catching a breeze. To catch a breeze is the name of his balloon.
Yeah, well, when your name is to catch. And the butterfly in the background there, too.
And I think for our special shape friends, we're not in the shot now, but one of the new special shapes, I believe, is Frankie. Is that right? Is it Frankenstein balloon?
Frankenstein. He got off away, and we did have a shot of it earlier. Yep. That green one that just left out of the shot there with the butterfly on it, that's called Vivian Amanda Broadbeck, who's the women's championship champion 2 years in a row, I think.
Yes.
Now, flying that one. Is that the clown balloon you were asking about before? That was the clown balloon.
And then
Olaf.
Yes, Olaf. And so that they're from Germany. That's what the D represents on their end number.
Yeah. Oh, what's your end number? Well, it's D.
Yes. Identification number.
Yeah.
Aircraft number.
And you know, folks we get caught up in that. Like we it's always the end number for us because that's what we fly, U.S. registered balloons, you know. Right. And so it's.
Looking at the chat here, there was an individual that said they noticed that there was no mass ascension on Mondays, and there is not because that's when we start our competition. But there is where the non-competitors do take off of the field on Mondays. So it's kind of a mini mass ascension, but they just don't call it that.
Still half the balloon.
Yes.
Which means it's still 300 going off out of here.
Which is typically 298 more than what you see around the country in most places.
Yeah.
On any given day. Diane, I hear now you're involved with wildlife out there on the field.
I'm listening to them. I'm walking with you. Where are you going?
Hang over here and get
we
out of here.
We got Lisa. She's working hard. She won't let me hold her. What are you going to go do now, Lisa?
Pardon me?
Where are you going?
I'm going over to this balloon to get it hot. We have a launch director there, so.
So you are what's called a zebra. Why are you called that, I wonder?
We can be easily identifiable in the zebra stripes.
How many times do people take pictures of you, Elisa?
Oh, lots of times.
Why are you wearing a tutu here at the Balloon Fiesta?
To hide my big butt.
What do you like about being a launch director?
Oh, I love it. I love the pilots. I love the people. I love being able to help with this. So,
what do you think of this morning today?
Well, it would have been nice if we had a little bit better weather, but hey, we're getting some balloons out of here, so that's a good thing.
You're working hard, so you're going to go run. Can you go gallop away? Go, Galp. We'll show you galloping away.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Elisa Bustamante, longtime Albuquerque resident, and she's been doing launch director zebra stuff for us for a very long time.
Yep.
Always a great friend. There's the Creamland balloon, the Moo Crew balloon. Different from the Arabelle Cow, who was out at Ernie Pyle Middle School yesterday for Albuquerque Alum.
Wow. I bet you they had
And one of our green shapes is inflating there, and
looks
who's
like
that little blue one? Is that?
That new elephant, and we have the little bird off to the right back behind it.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, the little bird, yeah.
Oh.
Up.
Here we come in looking for a landing
yeah,
spot.
we're looking for a spot. We're definitely out in Rio Rancho. Look at the people out there. They're out there near Cleveland High School, they tell me. One of the 2 high schools out in Rio Rancho.
Yep, right there in front of us.
Oh, yeah, there it is. There it is.
I would bet he's looking for that road right there. What do you think?
That one or the one on the other side? When I fly out that way, I kind of want the one on the other side. That's a pretty busy road. It's kind of the main east-west all the way out on the north side of Rio Rancho. So, yeah, I'm not sure I would go that road. I'd go over the high school and drop on the other side. Well, there's the little bird.
Yes.
Yeah, off on the right-hand side
right,
there.
Yeah, right to the right of it. I think it's, if I pronounce this properly, Yota balloon. Not Yoda, Yota.
Uh-huh.
And it's they're from, let's see here, Spain, I want to say.
And right in the middle is one of the fractal balloons. Jonathan Wolf used to tie-dye balloons. Take fabric, tie-dye them, cut them into balloons. Then he started working with Kubitschek to actually print fractals on the fabric and actually print on them. So he's continued to work with folks on that. So.
Turned out to just be a fantastic morning. For them, our neighbors out there in the northwest to get a great view.
Rio Rancho, here they come.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, that little guy there that we're looking at, that's actually Pico. That's Andrew Hawley from the United Kingdom.
Ah.
It looks like he's trying to, yeah. There's always another shot. You look down and you take pictures of your shadow.
Yeah, when I was taking a road, I wouldn't say land on that road, but in the general vicinity to make it easier for the crew.
Yes. But there's one right on the north side of that school, too, having flown out there a lot.
Right. Well, and I can remember the days where there was no schools and no roads.
Yes. Yep. There's Basil Booth.
Basil Booth.
Use the turning van. Show us your face.
I'm not sure if there's one on that balloon.
There is.
Is there?
Yeah, there is. It's got the eyes and the white mouth. Yeah. We're looking at the back of Basil Booth Sid. Laurent Lahoy from France is flying that for us. But he's not listening, obviously, so he's just going to fly away.
He's going to do what he
Watch
likes.
what he's flying. Watch where he's going. So,
Right.
yeah.
Great shot of the field.
We just keep sending them up.
And it seems like it's stabilized a lot more out there now.
Yeah, definitely. Well, even these flags that we've been watching right here in front of us, they're actually they've switched. The direction's kind of blowing around the other way.
There's our view right there.
Yeah.
That's what we're seeing.
Yeah, that's right off of the stage here. So those, you can't even see them because they're hardly even moving. The flags are hardly even moving. So, but there goes Floating Oasis. Right, was in the center of the shot when we were looking out.
There goes the Moo
Greg
Crew.
Lindsay and Moo Crew. Yeah. Not sure if Dale is flying that one. Dale Ritchie usually flies the full Arabelle Cow for us, but they have this small one. There's actually a couple of these.
And speaking of Monday, right?
I thought we were on Saturday.
Well, I know, but we were talking about Monday before with no Maes Ascension, but Monday is New Mexico Day as well.
Yes, it is.
So if you're a New Mexican resident, you have a form of ID or a
utility bill,
utility bill, yeah, come to the gate and you can get in for free. So looking forward ahead.
Yeah, just stop by the ticket booth on your way. They'll give you a kind of a souvenir New Mexico ticket.
Yes.
New Mexico Day ticket. Bubba's.
That's Ron Sanchez.
Yeah, Bubba's 33.
Yes. And there's a sister balloon to that. That's Natasha Stanky.
Yes.
And she always says, "I'm not Ron." And the way we can tell them apart is those little gold pennants that Ron put
at the bottom.
Yes. I think Natasha demanded that he put them on so they didn't think it was her.
Yeah. Those are actually the old Wells Fargo balloons.
Yes, the one that Natasha flew is the one that I flew.
Is that the one?
Yeah. I believe that's right over Cleveland.
Roof inspection.
Yep, or don't be late for class.
Yeah.
You go to
Good
detention.
thing it's Saturday. Good
Yes.
thing it's Saturday.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
But it's very stable out there. Look how nice.
Yeah,
and
look at
smooth
they're gonna have a nice. They're gonna have a great landing.
Yeah.
And like I said, there's a number of roads right there and lots of nice wide open space. So. And there goes. Is that Jaybird? Looks like it. Yeah.
Yep. Another German.
No, that's not Jaybird. That's the other.
Let's see here.
I need to turn off autocorrect sometimes. You know, you type in something. It's called Urs, the Bavarian Ibex. And that would be Nils Rummeling from Germany. That's a new balloon for us this year. It's actually Nils' first year here.
Now we have the Zober balloon.
Oh yeah, being overseen by Olaf.
Yes. Making sure that Old Man Gloom perhaps, well, he's going to get burnt, but just on the inside, right?
Yeah. You know what I always what I love about this Zober balloon, when it's standing up and you're looking straight up at the bottom, at the bottom part of that, it says burn him. And it's like, what kind of instructions is that for a pilot to have burn him on the bottom? You don't want to burn the fabric.
You definitely don't want to tell a balloon pilot to burn something, because they
no,
definitely would, right?
They would. When they get those over standing up, we'll talk more about it. Yeah. So there's a new one for us too.
New shape.
That
Cybo balloon?
Yeah, that's Cybo. I don't know what that one is. Yeah, I don't know that one. Oh, look, here's the other side of the building.
Yeah, what a great shot.
Isn't that a great shot?
Yeah.
An opportunity to fly right along, check out the river, check out the Cleveland High School in Rio Rancho.
Ray may land in the principal spot in the parking lot.
He might. He might. What a great shot, just kind of looking out that way and seeing all the balloons coming that way. All right, well, let's head back out to Diane and see who she's corralled this time.
Right.
I like getting people when they're at their busiest. I've got Adam Applezeyer from India. Iowa, take it off.
All right, this is Al Appenzeller in Tied Together. It's a 90,000 cubic foot Lindstrom balloon. Got my crew in here with me today. We're going to have a wonderful flight. We hope everybody has fun watching us.
No, take the microphone with you. Oh, I think he's taking off. He's taking off. We're going to show him. We got Elisa back, launching.
Okay, thumbs up. You're good to go, okay? Do not, if you've got thumbs down, stay down.
Oh, come over here. We got the crew holding down. How heavy is this holding it in the wind? How light? How is it?
It's pretty heavy. Definitely heavy. You guys ready? Yeah. Okay.
Are we going to cheer when they take off?
Absolutely.
Oh, boom. We heard the whistle, everybody. Oh,
It's pretty exciting.
Oh, do you feel the warmth of that burner? That's nice. Bye.
You guys did it.
All right. Wait. Come up. Back over here. Just a sec. Woo! There goes Al Applesire from Indiana. From Iowa. Al!
Then Indianola, Indiana.
There you go.
Or Iowa, I should say. I'm sorry.
So there you are, up close and personal, just as if you were here on the field. There he goes.
Well, it looks like they're making their way down towards us finally.
Yeah, they're kind of getting towards this end. They kind of started in the middle, and I'm not sure what they kind of have worked the north end as well. Here comes our landing.
There's the landing on a road. Of course, Ray.
Of course, it's Ray.
Yes.
Yeah. I told you that one time we landed in the middle of this great green grass field. Unfortunately, we didn't know that the gates were locked, but I told you there was a nice road on the north side of the school, and there he is.
Right in the middle of the road.
Easy access for the crew. And that road's not nearly as busy as the one on the other side.
Right,
yeah, the other one's a main thoroughfare. So that's the road to land on.
He's calling the crew and telling him where he's at.
Kind of making sure he knows what time it is that he landed down. And checking in. Here I am. And
okay, do you know where we are?
Give him a call. Yep, that's exactly what's going on. Yep. Okay, I'm down here.
We're at.
This whole idea of a chase crew thing is kind of interesting too, because while you go out, it's really you become more of a retrieve crew, but you chase the balloon. I always tell people you chase the balloon until the last 5 minutes when you try and get in front of them.
That's right.
And then be there. Of course, pilots can land the balloon. They have to be able to land the balloon as part of their training and everything else to be able to land the balloon without you. But it's always nice when your crew's right there. Of course, getting off the field sometimes through all the people and the traffic, sometimes it takes you longer to get off the field than it takes them to fly away as far as they do.
Right. And many of these pilots started off as crew members, which I believe make you a much better pilot because
I totally agree.
You know what they're going to do. You don't even have to have a radio. I mean, I remember crewing back in the days. What's a radio?
We don't need no stinking radios.
No, we don't need no radios.
No.
So.
Yeah, when I became a pilot, I actually did start using radios, and frankly, the radios we had were kind of aircraft radios. They were like 2 watts, so it's kind of like if you were on the ground, you couldn't talk to the crew. But yeah, I learned to chase. There's Basil. No, that's the little devil.
Little devil, yes.
But that looks like, I mean, if that had been black, that'd have been Basil Boop. But yeah, I learned to crew, and you start thinking like a pilot when you're the crew member. Where might I land? Is he going to land here? Is he going to go another road, another block, or whatever? And so you start to wonder, you start to make those predictions, and you kind of get it. I always said, I'm reading the pilot's mind, was how I was doing that as a crew person. I still do that because I don't own a balloon anymore. I fly with Barbara and Peter that we talked about with the Roadrunner Coyote balloon and their other balloon. And I get an opportunity to fly that fairly regularly. But most of the time I'm out there chasing them. And so I'm reading their brain as to where they might be going.
Back in the day, younger, we used to chase on bicycles.
Well, yeah, you did.
Through the mesas.
Yeah.
Yeah. Chase down Sid and all those folks, and it was a lot of fun. And being out here, you can see, we can see all the way. Yep.
All right, let's hit.
Let's go to Diane.
We got another pilot getting ready to take off, I guess. Diane, go for it.
Okay, here we got Mike Rightly from Albuquerque, Breaking Bad fans, and a unicorn. And what else do we have here?
We got a pink poodle.
Woohoo!
Albuquerque, he's a
Lobo.
I'm a Lobo.
Panda
Lobo.
What do we have here?
Baboon. Ah!
I'm just a sleeping nightcap boy.
How many crew members does it take to hold on a balloon? How many do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 40.
Mike. Rightly, that's all I am. Just a Mike Rightly.
Breaking Bad?
Breaking Bad. This balloon is breaking wind. So you need to hold your nose when you stand near us.
Take a...
Hold my finger.
Thanks, Diane.
Yeah, I think she's having too much fun out
I
there.
know, I'm telling you.
Yeah, but that's what it's all about. It's about having great fun. It's a great day to fly. The weather's nice and warm. It's going to be warm all week. So it's just, yeah. Hey, we're looking at the Blaser Swiss Lube. Blaser brought us a big sponsorship to the Gordon Bennett last year, and they loved flying here so much. Obviously, David Strasberg is back with us this year. And there's Ray sitting there waiting for the crew.
Yes. But look how stable it is. Nice and calm.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Yeah, and other people are flying in. Decided that Ray found a good spot. Let's go out there.
Well, let's, as a younger pilot, I was always taught to follow your elders.
Yep.
So that was one of the things I would always do, especially on competition days.
Oh, yeah.
If you're competing, I would always find the bears because they'd always find their way back to the field one way or another.
There's Philippe Aldernut with Hug-A-Bear from Belgium, the bear and the elephant. So we're seeing the bear's face and the back of the elephant.
With the turning vents on there.
Yeah.
Oh, there goes.
And there goes Mike.
Yep.
Up and away. I always love this shot when you get basically directly under. We're not quite directly underneath, but when you're up looking up and you have the basket centered in the opening, looking straight up. That's always one of my favorite pictures.
When they pull the blast valve, they get the big burst of fire up in there.
Yeah. Yeah, somebody says when they crewed for the baby T-Rex, they used walkie-talkies. Radios are nice, and sometimes it's like, go 2 streets. Or if you're out in some place where you're not real sure, maybe you're flying in a city you don't normally fly in an area. Sometimes from the air you can give the crew directions, or even, hey, I'm gonna land real quick because I want to trade passengers out,
right.
And you never know for sure along the lines there. So there's Guilty, the yellow balloon, the yellow racer balloon. You can see the mustache on it, and the what's the name of that one? The special shape there, the duck, the baby chicken, the egg.
Chicklet, I think.
No, chicklet. It's that shape. It's got something in an egg. Baby chicken from egg. Yeah, that's Pascal Noir. And that looks like Steggy that we're seeing.
Right,
the,
right in
the,
front there
the
to the
blue
right.
with the white.
Yep.
Yeah. It'll be another one of our special shapes.
There goes Zarek.
And off on the right side, you just barely see him off on the right. The maroon and the white kind of going out of screens. That's Aura.
Right.
Michael Fielding. Colin McClung's Freedom Racer, the blue and white spiral with the yellow Freedom, kind of right behind there he is.
There it is. He was just out in Plano with you.
He was. Colin used to live in Albuquerque, flew here for a few years, lived here, I don't know how long he lived here, flew for a few years. And then he moved to Longview, Texas. And so, he was in Plano. He was flying there. I got the chance to see him a couple of weeks ago when I was announcing the Plano Balloon Festival.
Right in front of us here on the rooftop studios, we have the World Balloon inflating.
Beautiful world.
Yeah, beautiful world. One of several worlds, correct?
This is the new one that Jewel Cutter had built for the 50th Balloon Fiesta. And if you look at the world on there, you will see stars and other map indicators.
Right.
And those all have something to do with her and Sid's adventures over the years. And she could tell you all, and then of course all the flags along the bottom as well. There you see it as well. So
I believe Diane has someone back down there on the field again. So Diane, what do you got for us now?
Hi there, you guys. I'm with Laura from Sedona, Arizona. Welcome to New Mexico. You're our neighbor. You're the crew chief for Gary's Balloon. And as the crew chief, you're going to explain right now what's going on with the cold inflate and the whole process. So please let our viewers out there around the world who have never seen a balloon inflate before.
Super. Well, as you can see, Gary's got a fan going, and we have two people who open up the mouth of the balloon, and cold air goes in, so that gives the balloon some loftiness. As that fills up, and in conjunction with this Albuquerque Balloon Festival, Gary then gets the cue from the zebra that he can burn, that he can do the hot air. The hot air will make the balloon rise, and once the balloon rises, he'll get his crew in the basket, his passengers. Then the zebra will give him the right to go, and we sail off into the beautiful abyss of Albuquerque. Fabulous.
So people are surprised that we are able to be so close to a balloon inflating. I mean, at this fiesta, they can actually touch your envelope.
We have a person who stands by the fan to make sure that nobody interferes with the fan, little kids, long hair, that kind of thing. And we make sure nobody's smoking. Of course, that's dangerous. But otherwise, yes. We're always careful about people touching the fabric because the fabric is, sensitive. But otherwise, it's here for the taking. It's wonderful.
We're going to have Eddie, our photographer, come and look inside, show us inside. So what are we seeing here, Laura?
Okay, so Gary's getting ready. So hopefully he'll burn during the time of this. You'll see the fire go in, and our people, our crew people, will holding those straps. The balloon on its own is going to rise. Hopefully we get a flame here. Here's our zebra. There we go. And you immediately can see that the balloon will respond to it. And if I wasn't here on air, I'd probably grab the balloon because it's hitting our RV.
Okay, go grab the balloon. Laura, I got people working here. We've got people working here. Laura had to go grab the balloon so it would not burn. She was on Balloon Fiesta Live, but we don't want the balloon to burn. So they did the cold inflate. Now they're doing the hot inflate. And soon we're going to see that balloon take off. How's it going, Miss Zebra? We tracked down Elisa again. You were galloping off last time.
Pardon me?
You were galloping off last time.
Yes, I was.
How's this morning been so far?
Good. It's been a good morning considering the weather, but we're getting them out of here, and so it's been a good morning.
That's your favorite thing to do, get people out of here? We like here at Balloon Fiesta to people to
get them up, and let's get them out of here.
Okay, those are her words. Get them hot and get them out of here. Bye. Here we go.
There used to be buttons that, if you can get it up, or if you can get it hot, we can get it out, or get it out, get it up, and all those types of things. All those innuendos that used to be there as well. So, and Elise would remember all of those because she was around with all of that. But, yep, another, and this is pretty unique. This is one of just a few places, balloon rallies around the world, where you can actually get up close and personal with a balloon while it's in flight, inflation, in the flight line, on the flight line, I should say.
Correct.
So our crew's still waiting for the chase crew to get to them.
It's a good sign, though, when you land and it's nice and stable.
Oh,
like
yeah.
that,
Look,
right?
I mean, look at the shadow. It ain't moving at all.
Hey, guys.
Yeah.
Great flight.
Yeah, they're waving at the shadow.
Great flight. Great video.
So.
Uh-oh, here's the dump truck. Or the cement mixer. Yes, cement mixer.
Oh, Sir Mix-a-Lot.
Yeah, Sir Mix-a-Lot. Brand new balloon. Has not been enchanted yet.
No.
So.
It has not. So we were talking about sizes, and we were talking about most of the regular shaped balloons that we're flying here are about 90,000 cubic feet, and you said 90,000 basketballs, regulation-sized basketballs.
Correct.
So when they told me that they were opening up and they had built this cement truck, And they said, oh, yeah, we're going to have a great cement truck. And it's 140,000 cubic feet. And I said, okay, well, if the balloon's 140, how much is the drum? Just the drum part that would contain the concrete here. And they told me that that's 105,000 cubic feet.
Wow.
So think 105,000 basketballs. But you wouldn't throw basketballs in a cement truck. You could compare that to a regular truck. So 105,000 cubic feet is 3,889 cubic yards, which is how they usually sell concrete, which would be 390 normal truckloads.
Of cement.
Of cement.
Wow.
So think that big old cement truck that you see, 390 of those to fill up the drum on Sir Mix-a-Lot.
Look at the people. They got the show in today.
They did. And that's kind of looking out towards the north end. That tent with the blue label on the top, the banner up there.
Yep.
That's our Artisans tent. And to the left of that is the Balloon Discovery Center, which is a great hands-on place. So when you do come out, for those of you who are going to be here, those are two great places to make sure that you visit while you're out here on the field.
Absolutely. And hopefully we can have Tracy Hawkins talk to us about the Discovery Center.
They've got some new exhibits out there.
They do.
As well. And Diane's wrangled someone else. Diane?
There they go. There's the Sedona Blue with Laura. Hey, Laura, went well. God, they got off. They had a little bit of a struggle there, right, Vanita?
Yeah, they were all over the place.
Here we go. Wow, you were kind of wrangling that balloon for a little bit, Laura.
Normal, but their swirly winds can do that. And we always say to our crew people, get your weight on the side of the uprights, which were the sticks. Never let your feet leave the ground. We have a tie off, so we were always going to be grounded, but that was not the way it usually is. So anyway, those are the exciting things. That's what I love about ballooning too. Those are the exciting things.
I appreciate that.
Adrenaline rush.
Thank you. Good job getting that balloon off. Woo! Swirling all around. Now I've got Vanita from
TransPerfect. We are a global content solutions firm, started with language translations, and we've grown to all types of technology business solutions.
And you're a sponsor here?
Yes, for the last 4 years, and I would love to honor you with one of our pins.
And pin trading here at Fiesta has been a 52-year tradition as long as they've had pins, and I'm honored to have you give me a pin. That means I have to trade her back one, which I will. I will give her a Balloon Fiesta Live pin.
Oh,
She wants one from my hat, but these are from 1985 and beyond. Wow. So appreciate that. Appreciate you stopping, and collecting balloon pins is kind of a cool tradition. Tell me about that.
Well, we started, I personally started last year, and I had such a blast. So we made sure that we got some new pins done this year, which is a brand new pin that I just gave you. And it's a really fun tradition. I have one from 1991, actually.
You're proud.
Yes.
And people, when you give it to them, what do they say?
Oh, they're so excited. They can't wait to show it off to their friends. It's a really fun tradition here.
Okay, I'm showing it off to the world. Thanks, Vanita. Appreciate the pin, and I'll get one to you right away.
Okay.
Good luck to you. Thank you.
Thanks, Diane. Hey, we're looking north there, and people are still nice.
Yeah, what a great shot, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's actually starting to get warm. I'm about ready to shed my little jacket here. We saw that the crew got to Ray.
Yep, Ray was taking it down.
Yep.
In the street.
Great place to put it down.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Looking at that shot there, you have Mr. Eric Hodges in the far right-hand side. He's a long time. I believe he's earning some distinguished award this year with the BFA, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. So more to come on that.
I remember Eric as a teenager learning to fly.
There he is.
Does that mean how old I am?
Well, we're all old, Art.
Yeah.
If you've been doing this for any amount of time, we're all old, right?
Yeah, unfortunately, that happens. Yeah. So this is the Fiesta balloon. The
Gold.
hot air is out the. This is the regular one.
Oh, regular one.
This is our crew. Yeah. So they've got enough hot air out that the balloon is laid back down. So now the crew will close off that throat, the opening that we have at the bottom. There they go. Look at that. Just like,
Just like they're listening to you.
Just like they're listening.
Absolutely.
And they'll start squeezing the air out the top. that they've opened up, pack it all back in the bag, come back, repropane it, get it ready for tonight's balloon globe.
Yes.
Diane was talking about pin trading. For those of you who have an opportunity to get here to the field, pin trading, we have 2 pin trading days. So it's tomorrow and next Saturday. And so about 11 o'clock out here at the group tours tent, we have an opportunity for you to come and bring and trade pins and all that kind of stuff. So
and she was
things
right,
to plan for when you come out.
Pin trading has been going on since we've started Fiesta.
And once again, we have Balloon Fiesta live pins this year that she was going to trade off. So if you can find somebody on the team here, we could trade you for a Balloon Fiesta live pin. And if you were to find either Bill Royal on the main stage or Ted Maes or myself, Art Lloyd Jr., we have announcer pins that we'd be willing to trade with you as well.
Another great shot to the northwest. Looks like we have Andrew Brindley in front of us, right in front of the rooftop studios with Intel.
Yeah.
Getting ready here, and looks like
all those guys we usually see first thing in the morning and out, they're going to get the last shot here.
Yep.
The new Intel balloon. You got Blaser there, and standing up the red balloon right next to it, Cosmic Crisp.
Yep.
Steve Wilkinson. Beautiful World, which we talked about, is also standing up now. Kind of all the folks over in the Gondola Club. Finally getting to that place. We're seeing a little. We're seeing that there's still some breeze here on the field that's kind of working away.
Yeah, a little bit.
You see as they're putting cold air in, you still see the fabric that's just kind of caving in on them as the breeze does that. There's the sun is risen. He is risen balloon. And there's the top on the Fiesta balloon as they're deflating it. So you see that piece of fabric just kind of hanging there? That's the top. That was closing that opening while they were in flight. Ray could pull a rope, pull that down, open up a little bit of that, let some heat out to land. When you get to the deflation part here and you lay it down, you pull that all the way out so you have some way to get that hot air out. And they'll be milking it or squeezing it from the other air. These guys are just kind of holding the top open so that hot air can't get out. Because you see even that opening is a little lower. The hot air is up there, so you kind of squeeze it out. It doesn't just come out nicely sometimes.
You can actually see the Velcro tabs that are on there on the parachute top that.
Oh yeah, you can.
That attach up inside, and technically you don't need them. That just helps with the inflation. Some people use them,
it kind of holds that top in place.
Yeah,
so it doesn't fall out while
or float away.
Yeah, and you pull those loose before you ever go up into flight. So, yep.
Well, someone's doing a good job of.
Do we remember the Navy balloon?
Oh, of course.
Yeah. Airborne Lady says, do you remember those? It was her first crewing experience. The Navy is how they came to Albuquerque. Yes, we remember the Navy balloon, and we could tell you stories, but we're on air about the Navy guys.
Yes. I just got a message that Roland de Montgolfier is watching in France. I believe he's an 8th generation descendant of the Montgolfier brothers. Now, both the brothers never had any children, but they had brothers and sisters that had children. And so Roland, greetings from the land of enchantment.
I think that's Smokey Bear out there with Sir Duke, or Sir Mix-a-Lot.
It certainly looks like
Looks like that. Yeah, it's brand new Smokey Bear, first real flight. Well, in
fact, it is. That is exactly
that's the hat, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
It's kind of interesting. I went out yesterday and I saw it. They were out at a local elementary school for a
brand new envelope.
Brand new everything.
That's right.
Brand new basket, brand new
burners.
This time. Elizabeth Wright Smith was like a kid at Christmas yesterday
morning.
Was she?
Oh,
my goodness.
I'll bet.
And there's nothing like a smell of a new basket.
Yeah.
And a new balloon. So the only thing I think that threw them for the loop yesterday was that they were unaware of, well, I think they knew about it, but there's one vent for the nose, and it's on the very top of the nose. So they had to crawl underneath while they're doing the cold inflation. I'm sure they sealed it when they
deflated that time.
Yesterday, but it was not sealed from the factory.
Yeah.
After they did their test inflation.
At the test inflation. Yeah. Well, anytime you get it back from any kind of inspection, it's kind of never in the shape you would put it in for the next flight.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. Lines are twisted, things like that. So, All right, we continue to watch balloons launch from here, and Diane continues to wrangle folks for us down there on the field. So once again, here's Diane.
Art, sorry to say you're correct. I'm having to wrangle because I have Alicia originally from Russia, and she's saying, how do you say no in Russian?
Нет ветра.
Nitya. But we have wrangled you. Thank you so much for being interviewed with Balloon Fiesta Live. We appreciate you coming. You left Russia about 10 years ago. You were born in Russia.
Yes.
And close to China. Tell me a little bit about where you're from.
I'm from small town in far eastern Russia, in Siberia. It's very cold in winter, like hot and humid in summer. And we moved here 10 years ago for my husband's job. And we first time here on Balloon Fiesta, and it's a really cool experience.
In Russia, do you have hot air balloons in Russia?
Yes, but not in my city. It's like in Riviera part. We have, but like not that kind, like small amount, not that huge festival like this one.
Had you seen hot air balloons in Russia?
Yes, I even flight one. Oh. Yeah, when I was little.
What do you think of this fiesta?
It's very cool. Yeah.
What will you tell your friends back in Seattle where you live now?
I will recommend them to visit Albuquerque. Yeah.
Was this what you expected?
Yes. Yeah.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
How is the morning? How are the mountains?
It's very beautiful.
Now I'm going to ask her in her native tongue, in Russian, please explain what you're seeing here to our audience. And I'm going to say goodbye as Alicia explains, and then we're going to take some photos of the beautiful balloons. So please tell us in Russian.
Здесь проходит фестиваль воздушных шаров. Их сотни штук, которые запускаются одновременно в течение часа. Очень стоит хорошая погода, тепло, хотя октябрь. И мне очень нравится это мероприятие.
Thank you very much. Nice to meet you. Thank you so much for the interview. Good luck to you. Thank you, guys.
Wow. That just goes to prove that ballooning is worldwide. And thank you, Diane, for that. We really, really appreciate that people come to the land of enchantment and see the glory of the Albuquerque International Balloon Fiesta. If you just walk through this entire field, you can see people with smiles on their faces. And it doesn't matter what language they speak or how they were raised. It's just a fun family event that's out there. So we continue to watch Sir Mix-a-Lot there. There's Cosmic flying over, and here's this is basically the view from the top of the rooftop studio where we're at. We've been having some gusts come in and out, but it looks like they've stabilized a little bit. And there's the team packing away the envelope out on the west side at Cleveland High School, sorry.
Cleveland High School.
Yeah, Cleveland High School.
That's the work part.
Yeah. I didn't think Ray worked anymore like that.
Well, I told you that day we landed in that field. Yeah. It was he and I and 4 gals to carry the entire system. And we didn't fly very far. He had 3 tanks in. So the tanks, of course, propane's heavy.
Yeah.
Propane weighs, more than 4 pounds per gallon. And so, yeah, we probably had a good 30 gallons of propane on board still. So, hey, the Wags balloons. Wags and Barks.
Yes. Couple retrievers.
Let's see, Wags was here last year for the first time. I think it was first time. And then Barks, their other golden retrieval. That's the Dean Carlton and the Carlton family.
And it's really cool. On the top of their parachutes are dog bones.
Yes.
It's really cute.
And they have the nose that's just a little kind of
protrudes out.
Yeah, which qualifies them to be a special shape.
Correct.
So
there goes the Intel balloon from right in front of us.
Yeah.
You guys should see that here any second. Things are getting a little bit gusty on this end of the field, but there are some people that are still attempting to go and others that have decided to, like the World Balloon, kind of call it a day today. They just didn't feel it. And that's okay.
That's exactly okay.
There's nothing wrong with that.
And Andrew using that turning vent we talked about. In fact, there goes the turning vent right on the shot, right in the center. You see that little darker spot?
Yep.
Still got it open.
And there are 2 colors. Do you want to tell them about the colors, what they signify?
Well, it depends on the balloon because one of the balloons I fly has 2 green vents, so you don't know which one's the left or the right. So typically they're colored.
Yeah, black and green.
As opposed to the red.
Right. The red line is your top vent line. And the way that I was taught is the green is GR, so when you pull that, you turn to the right, and the black is BL, so you would turn to the left in the balloons that I've flown with turning vents. And they may not all be the same.
No. Well, like I said, the one balloon that I fly that has turning vents, they're both green. So it's kind of like which.
And if you were colorblind, they'd both be brown.
Yeah. Let's see. That one still does have a red line. One of the other balloons I fly, the red line has faded, and it's now kind of just a gray. So, but it's kind of like you get used to where the radio is. You can just reach over there and hit the radio. You can reach over and do this or that. So you get used to flying the balloon wherever it is, but.
Well,
what a great crowd we have out here. I'm sorry.
Yeah, after a blustery morning, it's turned out to be absolutely fantastic.
Shed my jacket, too.
Yeah, it's a little warm out here.
And that's the reward for packing the balloon. You get to sit on it.
Yes.
You think they're just taking a break, but actually they're actually just kind of making sure all the air is out. And then, back to work.
Yep. And in a newer balloon, it takes a couple breaks.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, sometimes. Pick it up and drop it, kind of settle it down in the bottom so that you can seal it all in. It's really amazing that a balloon that holds 90,000 cubic feet can fit in a bag that size.
Yeah, it was always one of the post-flight talks that I had with passengers. Like, we just flew, however high we flew, and all of that fit right back in here.
It did.
And it's pretty amazing.
Or when you first pull it out, before you fly it the other side, they said, that's the balloon?
Right.
That's the bigger it is?
Exactly.
So
Sir Mix-a-Lot's going hot. Not sure if they'll fly, but I know that they're standing it up.
Do they have the burner going?
Yeah, it's going right now.
Oh, yeah, I see it.
You have Bill Lee with New Mexico True right next to the Chick-fil-A balloon there, laid out. And I believe this is John Green in Intrepid. He's a local pilot from Albuquerque.
Did you see that shift?
Yes, real quick.
He's not even, 25 feet off the ground?
Correct. He started to get
and he was going to the northeast.
Yeah, there it goes again.
Yeah. Kind of hard to see maybe on the camera, but yeah, he's definitely, there's definitely some different shifts there.
Well, it looks like the ones that have recently taken off are not getting that left yet, unless you get up about, I would say, 500, 600 feet.
Yeah, well, even Andrew in Intel is not got that direction out that way. So definitely, well, where are we? 9 o'clock. We're 2 hours after sunrise.
Correct.
We always talk about as pilots that somewhere in that hour and a half to 2 hours after, definitely things are going to change, and that's where we are. So we're right on schedule.
Right.
We are right on schedule.
The clock never lies when you go ballooning, right?
Well, the clock does, but everything out the way. Yeah, getting some heat into that 140,000 cubic foot of cement mixer. And Steggy's standing up.
I've done a couple shapes in my career, and it's people ask me what it's like when you're inflating them and bringing them up, and sometimes depending on the shape and how old it is or how new it is, I relate it to like trying to inflate a wet sock sometimes.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. You got to give it a lot of heat, and you're burning up, and you finally get that thing off the ground, kind of like what we're seeing right there. I mean, I know he wants to get the nose up off the ground here. But,
well, but think about this kind of shape. If you kind of think about that, there's a regular shaped balloon there.
Right.
And so the nose has got cold air. He's obviously gotten some warm air into the back tires, and he's got to get that center up, and then that hot air has to kind of migrate, if you will, to the cold areas. The one special shaped balloon that I actually flew was Mataruska, which was the Russian doll, part of the Jacques Sokop Thomas fleet. And it was really kind of a long, tall, cylindrical thing. And so it didn't quite have that wet sock feel that you did there on some of those. And I didn't actually do the inflation. I was out there actually doing a story in 1990. Talking about dating yourself. In 1990, I flew out went out there and did some flights and some stories out there in South Dakota. Got a chance to fly the balloon, but Jacques inflated it, took off, and then got a chance to fly it and land it in the air this time. It was great fun.
Yeah.
It was great fun. And so that, I also did fly the Stork, though. I flew the Stork, the original Stork balloon.
Okay.
Great Expectations.
Right.
So.
Yeah. Looking towards the north there, we have Bill Lee and the Chick-fil-A balloon.
Yep. So I think what we're going to see now, the balloons that are on the field are probably going to stay static. We might have one or two more go off, but we're, as we said, we're getting a little bit later in the morning here now, and so a little bit of static. Things seem to be not quite as squirrely as they were. I'm watching the Fly Alien balloon, not do too much stuff here.
Right.
And we've got Xfinity and the Coca-Cola balloon and Mark Sullivan's Code Red balloon. And even the Wags balloons, there's the pause on the back of the Wags balloon.
Right.
And, oh, they are going to take Xfinity off.
There they go. And a roar from the crowd.
Yeah. Jacob Little flying the Xfinity balloon for us.
That Puddles, I believe, there, if I'm not mistaken, on the screen with Darth Vader.
Yeah. Yeah, and the other one was the Keystone Cop. So Xfinity and the red balloon you see the top of. Don't see the banner on it, but that's the Swire Coca-Cola. Coca-Cola Day later this week. Xfinity, the sponsor of our navigators. We talked earlier about our volunteers we call navigators. We've got a thank you party for them on Monday, since you keep bringing up Monday.
Well, I don't want to speed the week along.
Yeah, you're trying to get it over.
No. This is the best time of the year. I think most people say on the chat and throughout. This is Christmas for a lot of people.
It is. It is.
Yeah.
Oh, there they go.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now that the envelope's packed away, you can pack up the basket. So they tip the burner over. The hoses have been disconnected.
Disconnected the upright cables that go right
Yep.
on the top there.
And so now they just lift that whole burner frame off. Those are fiberglass poles that we're just holding it there. There's really no structure to those poles. It basically just keeps that frame from coming down and crashing on your head.
Because actually you can fly that balloon without those poles if you would
Yes,
like.
you can. Not that I'd want to.
No, but back in the day, that's what they used to do.
Well, those original Picard balloons
Yes.
had no uprights. You just had that cable, and that burner frame just kind of floated in there. And, yeah, you had to wear helmets in those.
Yes. And I think every Cameron balloon, if I'm not mistaken, is required to have 2 helmets on
You don't
board.
have to wear them.
Nope.
Yeah.
Sure.
So, yep.
Well,
and Aerostar balloons, and of course Aerostar is no longer making balloons, but Aerostar was the other manufacturer that always required helmets to be carried on board as well.
That's correct.
So
I hear we have Diane down on the field again. Diane, who are you bringing us now, please?
Hi, gentlemen. Hi, world. You know, I have Clark here from North Carolina, and he's actually got a very sentimental and a very touching message for all of us about the hurricane that's touched his state and so many others so greatly.
Hurricane Helene wiped out western North Carolina, and in observation and try to get attention to it, I had a banner made, and I gave it to all the North Carolina pilots. So there's 5 of us, and we're going to display it on our basket all week and try to get some attention to western North Carolina.
And what does the banner say?
Prayers for western North Carolina strong.
North Carolina strong. Thank you so much for sharing that message. We're going to watch you now hot inflate and hopefully see that banner. But thank you for being here at Fiesta. And again, our prayers and our well wishes, and we're hoping our tax dollars are going to the people in need. Thank you. Thank you.
Okay.
And we're going to show you now. We're going to show you the process of him hot inflating. He got the go-ahead to do that. He did the cold inflating, and now he's going to go. I'm not sure if he's going to be static or if he's actually going to fly, but Clark does want us to see his banner. So if we don't see it today, we'll see it another time, but I'm glad that he was able to send us that message. Again, the hurricane that destroyed so many of our people in our country, and our prayers and thoughts, of course, are going out to them.
It's a zoo balloon, which is a firefly.
And
balloon.
so we were looking at those fiberglass poles on the Fiesta balloon just a minute ago, and this is a different make and model. So this is that kind of it's kind of a wooden, the lightweight wood. What's the actual? Because you fly those Barnes things, don't you?
Things, yes. No,
Yeah,
firefly balloons.
Yeah. What's the uprights made out of?
Bamboo.
Bamboo.
Yes. Yep. With
So it's one of those banners that baskets that they only have 3 corners in.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
Tracy Barnes thought he had a different, better idea, and in a lot of ways he did. He also invented the whole parachute top that everybody uses
Yes,
now.
he did.
So yeah, there's Steggy standing up.
Yep. It's one of the first balloons I ever flew in. Was a Barnes, actually, Barnstormer.
Yeah.
Yep. Back in the day.
I've flown a couple of them.
Look, Ray single-handedly threw the basket in the back, and they're getting ready to come back to the field here. Somehow I think, look, it's doling out waters to the crew.
And there's the banner that you were talking about it. So 083. So yeah, definitely down in the competitors.
Yeah, if I were any balloonist this week, I'd be following him to wherever he's launching from. Just a word of advice.
We talked with Diane talked with Keith Tkach earlier, who's at the top of the leaderboard for the local balloon club's monthly flying events. Ray is usually in the top 5.
Yes.
And he'd be higher if he would fly every month.
Yeah.
He takes a couple of months off every so often, and so because you do get some show-up points even if you don't get to the target. But Ray's usually up there, at least in the top 10, if not the top 5.
That balloon there on the left, if we could tighten up on it with the silver on it and the blue, that is flown by Lachelle Pete. A little backstory. Lachelle and I were first graders at S.Y. Jackson Elementary School, and would sit out on the swings and watch the balloons come in and land. And we both looked at each other when we were probably 6 or 7 years old and said, we're going to become balloon pilots.
Yeah.
And we're both balloon pilots, and we
There
still talk to each other to this day, believe it or not, after 50 some odd years.
Did you pull her pigtails?
I did. Just don't let Fred know that.
Yeah. Yeah. There's tall Steve kind of in the center,
Yes.
and our other little putty cat. Just Fun Cat, actually. Right next to that is the Lighthouse Business Solutions balloon, kind of the purple and orange with the pennants. That's going to be Scott Vesley. He's part of our Dawn Patrol team. And then as the alien kind of swings out of the way, we saw the Chick-fil-A balloon. Craig Kennedy flies that one for us. Chick-fil-A is really getting into the ballooning marketing mode here.
They have several throughout. I actually got to fly the Chick-fil-A balloon down in Phoenix. It was interesting over the 101.
So yeah, so there's a Phoenix group I know. There's I think a Utah group. There's now a setup in Texas. One here in Albuquerque. They did a little photo shoot out here on the field.
I saw that.
Yeah, I think it was Friday, and yeah, I had pictures of all the balloons here. But Chick-fil-A also becoming a big up-and-coming sponsor here at Balloon Fiesta as well. So always glad to have those guys here. There's a great shot of the Just Fun Cat with Tall Steve. Tall Steve is way farther north than the cat.
Yes.
So while they look
Shows
kind
you
of the
how tall
same
he
size,
is.
yeah, that he can be that far out and still be, look as big as the cat. So David Markowitz has the Just fun cat from Maryland, New York.
And right to the left of that, you can see David Bear, which is Ray Bear's son.
Is that David?
Yep, I believe it is.
Looks like it.
Barely
Yep.
Awake.
Barely Awake. Looks like it.
And the one with the silver pennants there is, let's see, it's a local pilot here.
Yeah,
in
that's Mike Bertetto.
Mike Bertetto in Nerfer.
Yep.
And that name comes because his daughter's
His balloon's up for that balloon's up for sale.
It is up for sale.
I don't know if someone may have already bought it, but
I'm not sure if they have, but it is up for sale.
He put it up for sale the other day. There you can see a good
Yeah.
shot of it there. As you look across, you see Keystone Willie, and you see one of the others, Puddles or Splash, and Darth is blocking Tall Steve.
That's the cow balloon from last year, I believe.
Milky Way.
Milky Way.
Yeah, kind of still cold inflating.
Yeah. But Mike's balloon's named after his daughter, Jennifer, Nerfer.
I didn't know that.
Yes.
Yeah.
He had me design his pens for them. I designed pens for a lot of these balloonists.
Oh, did you?
Oh, yeah.
I didn't know that.
I have a lot of fun doing that.
Remax this year being flown by Ryan Duff.
And right next
that was
to-
one of the first companies that did the big balloon
Yes.
program. I mean, all across the country. It's still on all their advertisement stuff. Yeah. So.
Yeah, I was just recently in Toronto, and we were driving down the street, and every Remax location that was there had the balloon on it, which I thought was pretty funny. Oh, and now they're leaving. They're headed back to the field for pro-painting and partying, and maybe a ceremony.
Yeah. This is our balloon cam, but right now it's in the truck. Oh, look at all the people that have also landed out there.
That's a ride balloon.
Yeah.
Diane, we hear that there's some sort of ceremony going on the field down there.
There's a wedding ceremony right now. Angelo and Maria from Albuquerque. We're just going to take a listen.
As the officiator of this beautiful occasion, I have the honor of sharing a few words before they exchange their vows.
Are you a family member?
I'm her mom.
Tell me about this wedding taking place.
Oh, it's so special. I'm lost for words.
Are they balloon fanatics or pilots or crew?
They're balloon fanatics, and they've been doing the flight crew for years.
What balloon is this?
Well, this one's the Coronado, but they usually do Alicorn.
And I'm taking you away from your daughter's wedding right now. What's her name and what's the groom's name?
He's Angelo Saiz, and she's Kathleen Sanchez.
And they decided to get married at Balloon Fiesta.
Mm-hmm.
Why?
Oh, just they love this atmosphere. This is where they decided to join together.
And who is all here? You have a big crowd of people.
I do. Well, this is our cousin.
Cousins, family members.
Oh, yeah. Everyone is family and friends.
Okay, I'll let you get back to the ceremony of your daughter, Catherine and Kathleen and Angelo. Thank you so much. Congratulations.
Well, congratulations to Kathleen and Angelo. That's
You betcha. We talked earlier that,
Yes.
that not only are there tons of birthdays, there's always engagements and always a wedding, and we found it for you this morning.
Yeah, I actually did a wedding one time in a cold inflated balloon.
Inside the balloon?
Inside
Yeah.
the balloon
Yeah.
is where they
Yeah.
where they were married.
Yeah.
Yep. I don't want to take away the bliss, but I also have done engagements in the air, and 5 of them, but 4 of them said yes and 1 said no.
Oh, yeah.
And that was a very weird 2,000-foot descent.
I'll bet so. Yeah. Yeah. I've heard stories. I've not done that, but I've heard stories of that, and it's always great when it's yes. But yeah, what do you do when it's no? Because now you're up there, and it's the 2 of you and the pilot usually. So we were flying up in Gunnison, Colorado, and a couple of our crew members got engaged in the air and came down, and of course we're all smiles because it was a yes.
Yes.
And so that was always great fun. So that was, yeah. So we're basically doing a static display here on the field right now. There's the new Sir Mix-a-Lot Duke City Ready Mix. 140,000 cubic foot balloon, 105,000 cubic feet of air that would be the drum
of the
truck. Yeah, so
I think we were getting smoky. It was about to go hot right there. We get that shot back. I like the little Zia logo there.
Yep. And some of our other regular balloons. I'm trying to figure out what this one right here in front of us is.
The one to the red one?
The red one.
That's the Kong balloon.
Oh, that's the Kong balloon.
That is the Kong balloon.
Okay.
Bill Broker in the Plano balloon right to the left of him.
Yep.
And Rich Longhorn in the, there's Smokey.
Yeah, there's Smokey on the screen, yeah. With the alien in the background. There's the Kong balloon.
There's the Kong balloon.
Yeah, Jerry Kopis.
Yep. Yeah,
Its unveiling is here.
Yes. And if we could go back to that Smokey one, you'll see the vent I was talking about on the nose as it goes up, if we haven't missed that. There it is. You can see the vent right there. There's like a T. There's someone standing, of course, right in front of it.
Yeah.
There it is. And after they move, it looks like a little small T. That's the vent for the nose, and that's what holds the air in the baffle for that to protrude out.
It always blows my mind to look up inside a special shape and to see all the rigging and all the pieces, because like I've said, it's a regular shaped balloon inside, and all the shape parts are just filled kind of basically with cold air.
Yep.
And through about a 12-inch opening usually, and to think about the engineering and the rigging that has to go so that shape always, when it fills out nicely and gives you the shape that you're looking for.
Yep. I've flown the Simba balloon before, and that thing I want to say has 30 or 40 vents in it.
Yeah.
On each of the pieces of hair that come off the mane.
Oh yeah.
Takes a while to deflate and.
I helped put Chicky Boom up last year, and yeah, every one of those pieces of fruit has got at least one, if not two, vents on it.
There's a great shot of the alien balloon.
Yep.
Cosmic. Still seeing
there's
people going.
There's a number of those different alien balloons that we've had over the years,
yes,
including the one special shape where you get the whole figure.
Right.
Yep. What a great morning we've had here. A little slow to get started, but yeah.
An awesome rebound by the weather gods today.
Well, as we talked earlier, that's the way the weather has been. It's been a little breezy right at sunrise, and then it calms down, becomes a really great day, and very warm day.
Yes, it is warm right now.
Yeah, it's already warm. Actually, when I mentioned that coolness earlier on in the day, and yeah, there is a weather station right here on the roof, and it says it's already 70 degrees. So, and it was like 60. So, in about an hour, it's warmed up 10 degrees.
Yes.
So we're just kind of hanging out and watching the static display of balloons this morning.
I think that's the shell going down right there.
You know what we need to do, though? We need to do a little bit of business here. We need to talk about the license plate giveaway, and we need to talk about the discount that we have for all of our viewers. So why don't you do the discount thing for us
again
first, while I go pull the winners?
Okay, go pull the winners. Again, if you log on to Balloon Fiesta stuff.com, there will be a QR code that you can go and you can get 10% off all apparel or hats, T-shirts, sweatshirts, anything that's sportswear, 10% off. And shop now. Shop before this stuff starts to go away. They don't get your size. If you need a small, we don't want to be out of smalls. We want you guys to have the 50-second memorabilia stuff that's out there. And plus the stuff that's even not on sale. You got your pens and all that other stuff out there at balloonfiestastuff.com. So let's make sure that you guys log on and get the stuff before it's gone, because some of it will be gone by this weekend, actually. And if you're here on the field, we have a north and a south tent that you guys can go to and check out all the great merchandise that they've been working all year and very hard to get to our balloon fanatics that come and visit us here in the land of enchantment at the Balloon Fiesta. We have any winners there, Art?
I need to log on to the entry form here.
There's Spider Pig and
I might have to give
Steggy.
6 away tonight and not get the 3 in this morning.
Okay.
So
well, you're gonna have to come back and listen, because you have to listen for your name. So
no,
we can,
you don't have.
Oh,
to.
we want them to come back and watch
we
the
do
glow.
want you to come back. Yeah.
Because remember, we're doing.
But let's tell them how to enter.
Yeah.
Let's tell them how to enter.
Well.
So the idea is let's throw the QR code up here. We're giving away Balloon Fiesta replica license plates for viewers. There's a QR code on the screen. Scan it right now. Enter to win. We'll pull 6 names tonight at the Glow. And we will, you don't have to be present to win. Only enter one time. We'll mail you this after Balloon Fiesta, or if you happen to be around the field, we can make arrangements to get it to you as well. So this is a replica plate of the official New Mexico balloon plates that were very popular here. Still are, a number of people. I still have one on my car. But we have the Balloon Fiesta Live. It's got the little banner since 2017, year 2024 on it. Only enter once. Don't make me have to go through and take your duplicates out. You'll be in for the drawing all week. We're going to give away 3 of these every single session, except this morning when we'll just move this morning's 3 to tonight. We'll do 6 tonight, and we'll contact you after Fiesta. So scan the QR code, put in your information, and you will be entered to win a Balloon Fiesta Live New Mexico balloon license plate. Great for your walls, the front of your vehicle. Heck, it looks real enough that you could probably try and pass it off on the back, but I wouldn't do that. And thanks to our friends at the sign store for providing those to us for yet a second year. If you've got any sign needs and you're in New Mexico, the sign store will take care of you that way. So we've got about 5 minutes to wrap things up here.
There's a great shot of Smokey and Sir Mix-a-Lot with, I believe, Al Lowenstein, a local pilot, right behind there.
So some folks are signing up for our giveaway. Good. How does it work for international viewers? The signing up for the license plate? Sure. Even the QR code for Balloon Fiesta stuff works for that. Push the wrong button there. Sorry, I coughed all over you. But what a great display here, the static display. All the folks on the field now get that opportunity to not only see the inflation, which they've already witnessed, but now they'll get to see the deflation. Of course, we brought it to you live with our Fiesta camera.
Absolutely. From beginning to end.
From beginning to end. You got it all. You got to fly over the river, all those great things. So this is day 1. What a great day we have had here this morning. And we've got a full week. Tonight, we've got our Twilight Twinkle Balloon Glow. Good. So tonight, the Team Fast Tracks jumps in at 5 o'clock. We'll record it, play it back at 6 o'clock. We'll get into our Twilight Twinkle Glow at 6:30. And then about 7:30, we'll move into another jump by Team Fast Tracks with their pyrotechnics. Follow that by the drone show, so you'll get to see that tonight, and the fireworks as well. Tomorrow morning is going to be just like this morning with a Maes Ascension. Hopefully we'll be more on time, and hopefully all the people trying to get into the field will be there as well. And so Pin Trading Day is also tomorrow as well. And for those of you who happen to be on or around the field or coming out to the field tomorrow, the U.S. Air Force Academy Band will be on our Main Street stage. Well, Ted, first morning, first session. What do you think? What's your impressions?
Well, I'll tell you what, I truly love being here. It's my first day, so don't judge, but getting to understand what it's all about, and I look forward to a glow tonight. You know,
we got 13 more of these.
Yeah, what my saying is morning flights and glowing nights. So let's do it as many nights as we can and days as we can.
There you go. So we're going to kind of wrap things up here. This show will be archived. If you came in late, we'll archive it, and we'll have it on the website, balloonfiesta.com and balloonfiesta.com/live-stream. But if you get to balloonfiesta.com, you'll be able to find Balloon Fiesta Live. So with that, for Diane Kinderwater out in the field, bringing us what's happening down there, for my new partner, Ted Maes, well done, sir. Welcome to the show.
Appreciate it.
I'm Art Lloyd Jr. Thank you for watching. We'll be back tonight. We'll see you then.
So long, everybody.
Bye-bye.
You've been watching Balloon Fiesta Live, powered by ExxonMobil. Always in October and always in Albuquerque. This is the 52nd edition of the Albuquerque International Balloon Fiesta, the world's premier ballooning event. Want more balloon action? Visit the archive of Balloon Fiesta Live broadcasts at balloonfiesta.com. Thanks for watching Balloon Fiesta Live. This program is a production of AIBF Inc.
Let's say you're deep in a show, or a game, or the game, on a train, at home, at work. Okay, maybe not at work. Point is, at Xfinity, we're constantly engineering new ways to get the entertainment you love to you faster and easier than ever. That's what I do. Is that Love Island?
I got it.